If you play one Rebel, you play us all.
Five teams in the state of Alabama. Chad Pilcher, Jim Dunaway will set the table for tonight's big showdown on the road in Alabaster in a moment. But let's get the starting lineups for our Vestavia Rebels, and then we'll tell you the challenge ahead taking on the Warriors.
Rush Harper, defensive end.
Haynes Bridges, nose guard.
Josh Arundel, defensive line. Paxton Nussery, defensive line.
Gary Manown, linebacker.
Nick Williams, linebacker. Daniel Richardson, linebacker.
Will Bachnick, corner.
Parker Simpson, cornerback.
Walker Hogue, safety.
Copeland Styles, offensive line.
Jackson Deal, offensive line.
Caleb Boylan, offensive line.
Will Guathany, offensive line.
Pearson Tucker, offensive line.
Will Ainsworth, tight end.
Zach Laws, receiver.
Braxton Hunt, H-back.
Carson Purdy, running back.
Luke Stubbs, wide receiver.
Price Master, quarterback.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Welcome back here to Thompson. As you saw in the starting lineups there, a change at quarterback tonight, and it's one of many changes for the Rebels as they come on the road against Thompson. Chad, walk us through the challenges of a beaten-up football team.
Yeah, so you come in playing the #1 team in the state. You want to be at full strength, and unfortunately for Vestavia here tonight, they are not. The big news, Charlie Taff is out at quarterback, so he will not play this evening. Owen Wilbanks is out for the second week in a row, so you have your quarterback, you have who is also your leading rusher, then you have Grayson Harper, who is your leading receiver, he's out, and then defensively it doesn't get any better. Owen Wilbanks, the safety, who's Vestavia's leading tackler, he is out, and for the second week in a row, Leighton Osborne is out. So there'll be some changes in the secondary. Just a tough way to come into this ball game against Thompson.
Okay, leading passer, leading rusher, leading receiver, leading tackler, but a lot of fight in this team. Who are some guys that we look to replace, like LeMaster at quarterback, who's 5 for 5, no incomplete passes this year on the positive side?
Yeah, Price LeMaster has been really good so far this year. He's played some at quarterback alongside Charlie Taff. He had a touchdown catch last week. Very good athlete. He's a guy that this coaching staff believes in. They know that he can be capable of playing well at the quarterback position, so he's going to get a shot tonight against what's probably going to be the best defense he'll see all season long.
#1 in the state, number 22 in the nation, the Thompson Warriors. They only lost a decision that Coach Mark Freeman had against Grayson to go for 2 in the win against one of the best teams in Georgia. That was an evenly matched game. They have dominated their opponents in the state of Alabama. It's a massive challenge always against the 5 times in the last 6 years state champions. Keys to victory tonight. What does Vestavia have to do?
Vestavia, you got to stay on track offensively. You can't afford penalties. You can't afford turnovers. If you do that, then there's just no chance of beating this team that's just so talented across the board. And then defensively, you got to be able to make plays up front. That's one place where Vestavia does maybe have an advantage is the defensive line playing against this Thompson offensive line. The coaches feel confident about the way they can play, but again, got to keep everything in front in the secondary. No deep balls.
Enough of us here. Let's get down on the field and check out some of the pageantry of what's going on tonight as our Vestavia Rebels make their way onto the field tonight here at this beautiful facility in Alabaster. And here come the Thompson Warriors, again, a team that's 3-1 on the year. Thompson, just like your Vestavia Rebels, who are 3-1 as well. Their one loss came out of state to the Grayson team from Georgia. Of course, our one loss in the only road game of the year so far, on the road at Trustful. And Chad, when you talk about Mark Freeman and what he has done, Robert Evans has a lot of great respect for Mark Freeman. He's built a dynasty here. You just look at to our right at the western end zone, state champions in 1982, ironically when I was in school here. And then under Mark Freeman in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2024. There's a madness to his success here at Thompson.
He's done such a great job, and it's not just at Thompson. He won a championship at Spanish Fort. He won a championship at Bessemer Academy when he coached there back in the early 2000s. He's someone who's been successful everywhere that he's gone. But when you look here, just what he's built at Thompson, you can't say anything more than just look to the right, and you see all those state championships, this beautiful facility that they've developed. And when we were walking on the field before this game, and you just look at the kids, we do that a lot of times before games. The way that these Thompson kids look in their uniforms, they're big, they're strong, they're fast, and as we'll talk throughout the night, numerous players on this squad are being recruited by big-time programs. And so it's just an incredible challenge against some really good athletes and a program that just keeps rolling under head coach Mark Freeman.
Vestavia in their wonderful road white uniforms with the interlocking VH on one side of the helmet, numerals on the other side. The white jerseys, white pants, white helmet look as they come on the road to battle the Thompson Warriors. It'll be interesting to see how the guys filling in for the injured players play. Maybe a sneak peek at the future for a couple of sophomores who get in there tonight and some guys who don't usually get called upon. Charlie Taft's injury, we'll say up front, is not expected to linger. We could see him as early as next week.
Yeah, Coach Evans said if this was a playoff game, he probably could have gutted it out and gone. But given that Vestavia has an off week next week and then a big game the following week against Prattville, the decision was made to rest him to make sure he's healthy for that game against Prattville.
Close to a packed house here in Thompson, as it always is. 17 wins to 14 wins in the series. Thompson leads it by 3 all time. They've won 11 straight in the series. We'll try to shock the world tonight. And there's the kick. It'll go into the end zone, and Vestavia will start right there with a new quarterback tonight in Price LeMaster, who I said 5 for 5 on the year, 96 yards passing, 53 yards running the ball, and he's been in a couple of plays in game pressure moments where he's come in when we've had 2 quarterbacks on the field.
LeMaster's a guy that has experience, and for him tonight, don't try to do too much. Just do what you're capable of doing. You don't have to do everything by yourself. Allow your playmakers to get the football, see if they can go make something happen. But again, this is a vaunted Thompson defense.
All right, so LeMaster with a man in motion. He's going to keep it and run right up the middle for some nice yardage as he works his way out across the 26.
And another thing for offensive coordinator Josh Franklin, clearly LeMaster, Taft, they have different skill sets, but you're not going to see that much of a change in the offense. Vestavia's going to do what they do offensively.
Boylan stands back there with him, and Boylan's going to get the ball this time off the right side of that line. And he fights forward for maybe a yard, and it's going to set up our first 3rd down of the night. And you got to convert on these 3rd downs. Vestavia's been very good on 3rd down all year. It'll be a key stat tonight.
Against this really difficult defensive line for Thompson, that tackle was made by Cam Pritchett. He's a junior, 6'3", 235. He's committed to play at Oregon.
3rd, and we'll call it 3 as the ball sits right at the Vestavia 26-yard line. LeMaster looks to throw. It's going to swing it out to the flat. It is caught by Boylan. He fights for the sticks. Did he get there? Forward progress, I think, is good for a 1st down. They're going to give him the 30, I think.
They are going to mark him very close. Looks like the far side official has him about an inch short. Near side official going to do it as well. I think Vestavia goes for this. There is nothing to lose in this ballgame with where you are. Line up, see if you can't go pick it up and keep this drive alive. It is less than a yard. Ooh, tough spot there. I think you were closer to inches, and they've got him Vestavia at a full yard.
Yeah, it's a bad part of modern-day officiating. We go to full hashes. I don't like it. 1 and a full yard, handoff up the middle, not going to get it. Not going to get it as that defensive line was coming. We're going to get a penalty late here, a celebration, some kind of penalty against Thompson, I believe, here after the stop.
But that's going to be a dead ball penalty, so it'll still be Thompson football. And if it's against them, it will be after the turnover on downs, and then they'll back them up 15 yards if, in fact, it was unsportsmanlike.
Personal foul against Thompson, not unsportsmanlike. Now, the question is it afterwards?
Yeah,
it's
a dead ball penalty.
Yeah. He didn't give us the dead ball signal, but you're exactly right about that. So that'll back up 15 yards and help a little bit, almost like a punt and some kind of modest return.
Yeah, a little confusion here, and you see Vestavia's offense staying on, but the official did not signal properly that it was a dead ball penalty, but it was. So Thompson will retain the ball. And just on that, first off, I think it was not the best spot after that third down call, but on that fourth down call, clearly Thompson was expecting that ball to come right up the middle. It did. They just fired off, got a good push, and really controlled the line of scrimmage and made that stop.
All right, Thompson will get the ball starting in Vestavia's territory at the Rebels 44, and the defense will be challenged by trying to keep super quarterback Trent Seaborn in check tonight. He's been a starting quarterback here for what seems like a decade.
Really incredible. Started as a 8th grader and took Thompson to a state championship, and still here playing quarterback for the Warriors.
6'1", and he puts R.J. Evans in the backfield with him. They'll do a little reverse, and this is Casey with it on the far side, a little motion, and Casey gets it down close to the 35-yard line.
We mentioned 2 starters out for Vestavia. Owen Wilbanks, the safety, is out. Leighton Osborne, the corner, is out. So as a result, Parker Simpson moves from corner to safety, and Will Bachnick moves in to one of the cornerback positions.
Seaburn's stat line's always the worst against Vestavia than anybody else in the country. He'll try to get over that Rebel defense for the first time really in his career, and he's going to keep it right here. A really athletic quarterback to be 6'1" and known for his passing, and he may have the first down, and he does.
Seaborn's a guy, he's a 6'1", 193-pound junior. A guy with 35 offers, 4-star recruit. I mean, everybody is talking to this guy. He's just done you look at him, he's got the size, he's tall, he's lean, likely to grow into his body. Throws a really nice ball. Doesn't have a ton of zip on it, like that just cannon arm, but just throws it so well and puts it right where it needs to be.
First down, Thompson. They motion this side, but they go right up the gut, and that's big R.J. Evans right there. And on the tackle, a couple of Vestavia Rebels. That includes number 26, Walker Hogue, who is in on the mix.
So right now, so far, Thompson, they started out going to the edge, running the football, and that little pop pass. Now they've come back running up the middle, both the running back and the quarterback.
So big superstar quarterback, 3 runs so far. And they're going to continue to run it once again off the ground. Over on the left side, that's going to be big R.J. Evans, who's got a couple of touchdowns this year for Thompson.
Yeah, Evans did a really nice job that time of reading the play. Vestavia did a good job of kind of clogging up the middle, but Evans recognized an opening to the outside, bounced out to outside, and now a 3rd and 3 for the Warriors.
All right, so a big third down play here, and as we said, third down crucial. If you can get this offense into third down situation, you try to make a play. They probably, too, will be in a 4-down situation. Seaburn's going to throw it this time. A little pressure off the edge. Wanted to hold, but no call there. Seaburn on the run just throws it away. Great pressure there from Josh Arundel, and was putting a little pressure on Seaborn, ran him out of the pocket and forced Seaborn to throw it away for 4th down. They're going to keep their offense out there.
Great job by Arundel there. Looked like he was held, had the back of his jersey pulled as he was pursuing Seaborn, but nice job of running, nice coverage in the secondary, keeping everything in front. Watch number 4 here. To the outside, Dedrick Kimbrough. He's a sophomore. He had a great year last year, really came on late. He already has 6 offers from SEC schools.
They motion a man near side, and Seaburn's going to roll near side again, looking for somewhere to go. He's going to try to keep it, and he's going to be hit and tackled there. In there, Nick Williams making a big hit, and that's a stop for Vestavia.
That's a huge stop by this defense. The offense turns it over on downs, back them up 15 after the penalty against Thompson, and then the defense comes up big and gets its own fourth down. That was the exact same play, back-to-back plays. They ran it once, they ran it twice, and the Vestavia defense stopped it both times.
This time Seaburn decided to keep it, and right there on the play was big Nick Williams and company. So, hey, it's a fight now. Each team's thrown a punch. Vestavia gets it back for the second time. On the far side, that is LeMaster throwing right over the middle to Laws. It is complete. LeMaster now 6 for 6 on passes.
That was a really good throw that time by LeMaster. Had a combination route, had one receiver deep, and then Laws came underneath. He just let that ball rip. Laws did a good job of going up with his hands to make the catch for the first down.
Laws usually does his work outside the numbers. That time over the middle with a big catch. First down for Vestavia. LeMaster now with a screen near side. Dumps it off to Purdy. Purdy with some running room. Runs over a Warrior and gets it across midfield into Thompson territory. That's a Vestavia first down.
That's a great run by Purdy. Great read by LeMaster, and really good block downfield by Jackson Deal. Got just enough of the defender to allow Purdy to pick up that extra yards.
I thought he got to the 49. They put it back at midfield, so not quite into Thompson territory yet, but it is first down Vestavia. LeMaster fakes it again. Now looks back near side, got some pressure. He's going to try to tuck it and run it, and cannot get it back to the line of scrimmage, but does the smart thing by throwing it away.
That is a great decision by Price LeMaster. I was about to say he held on to it too long, but had the presence of mind to throw it out of bounds despite being kind of wrapped up by the defender.
Boy, if you think the moment's too big for LeMaster so far, it is not. He has looked poised, and I think that goes back to him getting some playing time in crucial moments on some of the plays they run. LeMaster with the ball. Quick over the middle screen. That one got a little, he's a little lackadaisical on that throw, and that falls incomplete. Had it set up, intended for Stubbs.
Yeah, threw that one a little quicker than he probably wanted to. Also had Purdy on the check down to the outside with an opportunity to get some yards. And the one thing I was going to say, what's really helped LeMaster so far is that offensive coordinator Josh Franklin's done a really good job of using that motion. You're not going to be able to just run it straight at this Thompson defense, but if you mix it up, show them some flash, you got a chance to get some guys open, and so far Vestavia has done that.
3rd and 10 now. Josh Franklin signals in a little audible. LeMaster very calm as the play clock's at 10. He takes the snap, fakes it, pumps. Now he's going to avoid the rush and now throws one. Ooh, almost intercepted, falls incomplete. Got away with that one. Saw what he's trying to do, and he's doing a great job of avoiding the pressure in the pocket, extending the plays.
Did a good job. Would have loved to see a pump fake there. Maybe you've gotten the defender to jump because you did have a receiver release downfield. Offense stays on the field here. I think this may be a situation where you do punt.
4th down, 10 yards to go. Play clock at 24, and right now the offense stays out there. Purdy is lined up behind LeMaster. These are two regional teams, so they're very used to this shift right here. Thompson's not even down in the stance yet. Now they will go down in the stance, and they're going to run the punt team on with 22 seconds as they reset. They got to reset on the play clock. That worked out good. Punt team's out there, and now Thompson has run somebody on. They've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the field. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 on the field. But they got an illegal substitution maybe.
Coach Mark Freeman, I think, got a timeout before that flag came out. It was about to come out.
6, 9, 11. I got 11 on the field. The late run of the punt team out there caused a little confusion for Mark Freeman. Was he wanting some time to substitute? Do you get that time to substitute?
No, I think they were just trying to, and they didn't have everybody ready. So guys started running off, and then they sent somebody back on. I think the return man was a little late getting out there, even though they had him standing down there right at the 25-yard line ready to run out. So just a little confusion by Thompson and some frustration by Coach Freeman, but he wisely took the time out.
Reset things for you. No score yet. 7:21 to go in the first quarter. We'll get our first commercial break coming up here momentarily and our next stoppage. But I want to set the stage for you here. This is a team that has won 5 of the last 6 state championships. Vestavia's been in the playoffs. We're in the same region, and there's no doubt Vestavia is one of the top 3, 4, 5, 6 best teams in the state. You just happen to be battling one of the best teams in the country tonight. And we're down a little, but right now playing really good football. 4th down situation. Going to do the punt now, traditional punt situation. Snap back to Sloan Morgan. High punt, good punt. Fair catch being called for at the 13, make it the 14-yard line, and that's where Thompson will take over. Beautiful kick from Morgan there. We'll take a timeout right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network. No score.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt the communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
As we come back, one play from Thompson, defended well over there. That may have been Nick Williams again. Hard to see on the far side. I don't know if you caught her number there.
I think that was Daniel Richardson on that play. A little swing pass to the left side and great pursuit, maybe half a yard.
No gain at all, maybe a half yard. We'll call it 2nd and 10. And so far, Vestavia's defense dialed into what Mark Freeman's trying to do offensively. Patillo is out there on an island. Now he gets some safety help. Seaburn's going to try to throw again. It's going to be picked off. Intercepted. Played beautifully out there by number 9. That's Will Botnick.
Botnick's the guy that got the start tonight due to the injuries, and how about a huge play in the first quarter for this Vestavia defense. Had a zone coverage. Looked like they confused Seaborn there. Botnick started out showing man. He then showing zone, Then he bailed and kept running with the receiver. You had a safety coming over the top as well. Botnick goes up, makes the catch, and great field position here for the Rebels.
If you guys watched Florida and LSU the other night, Baker at LSU runs that defense a lot right there, where it looks like it's going to be man or zone, and they flip to the other, and it confused the quarterback the other night. They just did that to a good guy in Seaburn, who's a 4-star quarterback. Big plus territory for Vestavia there at the Thompson 36, first down. Laws in motion. LeMaster not ready for the snap, but he bobbles it, picks it up. He's going to pitch it over near side to Boylan, and the defense was there. That one went awry early on.
Yeah, tried to do a little too much there for the Rebels, and DeMonte Tab comes up and makes the play. Talk about a kid that looks good in the uniform. That young man looks the part.
They got a lot of them that way. 2nd down, 13 to go for Vestavia after the turnover. See if you can capitalize. LeMaster throws and complete. That is to 14 Luke Stubbs, and positive yardage. Going to set up a doable 3rd down.
And I think you're approaching this 3rd down as if you have 2 downs to pick it up. So that's the mindset, both from a play calling standpoint and from an execution standpoint for the quarterback.
All right, 3rd down and 3. LeMaster on the keeper. Looking. Actually, it's Boylan who got the direct snap, and he's going to get the first down.
That's a really good run by Boylan. Did a good job of finding the seam, putting his head down, fighting forward for that first down.
So he got the direct snap with LeMaster standing next to him. Great job by the center there. The other Boylan snapping it right down to Noah. Now LeMaster keeps it. Looking to run it. He's going to pull it down, find some room, starts to slide, but I think he was making contact as the slide was starting. No flag comes out there.
I thought they were going to get him from going up high. I mean, that was up, looked like it was up around the neck area. The fans on this side didn't like it, but no flag came out, so it didn't happen.
Positive 4 yards for LeMaster, who's playing smart football so far as we approach the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. 85 degrees at kickoff tonight. LeMaster fakes it again. He's going to throw, and just a little short, as had a man open underneath, but he kept it low, trying not to turn the ball over. Not a bad, horrible throw by LeMaster. I knew what he was trying to do there, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like he just didn't get his feet set on that one and really step into it. Went a little bit low and took a hop before it got to the receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Yeah, there's game speed, and then there's playing Thompson speed. It's a little different. 3rd down now and 6, maybe 4 down territory again. LeMaster throws it over the middle. It's complete, right on the money to Stubbs again. First down.
A very similar route there. And how about Vestavia having a great deal of success throwing the football? Bryce LeMaster stepped into that one and let it rip.
LeMaster with Boylan beside him. Offensive line doing a good job. Boylan's going to keep it, following those big guys on the left side. He's going to pick up positive yardage. Running behind Styles over there, and also Braxton Hunt, who's playing in place of Harper, doing a good job.
Yeah, that's one thing Boylan does such a good job of, is finding those blockers. It looked like he was just following on, literally on his back as he pushed forward.
LeMaster under center this time. He's going to roll far side. Looking for somebody to come open in the end zone. He's going to run it now. LeMaster keeps it, lowers his head, gets inside the 5-yard line. At the 4 is where he'll go out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 4 there.
But can't say enough about a guy getting his first start to not force that ball. He could have thrown it, but there was not anywhere, not much room, and it would have been deflected. Who knows what would have happened. Really, really smart decision to wait until the last minute, try to let your receivers get open, and then make the decision to run and get inside the 5-yard line.
Probably had a 10% success rate if he had thrown it, so he did the smart thing there. 3rd down and 4. 4:11 to go. Clock stopped right now. Play clock's at 10 as the Rebels break the huddle. Back there in the backfield is Boylan and Purdy. Purdy's going to keep it after the fake. Power up the middle. Does he get to the end zone? Big push now. Down to the 2.
So with Charlie Taff out, you go to a little different wrinkle here in the kind of wildcat situation with Purdy. Did not quite get there, and they'll bring the field goal team out.
All right, so Sloan Morgan comes on. Not going to be the best angle at this short of a distance. I always like it when you're a little more in the center when it's this close. See what young Sloan Morgan can do here. He's been so good this year. No score, 3:35 to go in the first. Can Vestavia draw first blood? The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. Vestavia takes the lead 3-0 over number 1 Thompson when we come back on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
The Taylor Burton Company, we've been building and remodeling homes in Vestavia Hills since 1986. That's back when shoulder pads weren't just for football. This isn't just where we work, it's home. We live here, we raise our families here. Our kids all wore the Rebel jersey under these Friday night lights. That's why we care so deeply about what we do. Quality, craftsmanship, and community. That's what we're built on.
Back with you at Thompson. Vestavia 3, Thompson 0. Battle of 2 top 5 teams in Class 7A in the state of Alabama. If you're watching us around the country tonight, as we sit here, tell us what Vestavia is doing right so far, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, so offensively, they're throwing the football really, really well. So far, Price LeMaster, 5 of 9, 48 yards. But more importantly, he hasn't forced anything. This is a really good secondary for this Thompson team. The receivers are finding the openings in the zone, and Price LeMaster, for the most part, is delivering passes. Defensively, Vestavia's doing a good job of just keeping everything in front. Don't allow the big play to bust. And that's kind of the thing we've been watching for, is just make sure nothing big happens. If you can make them kind of chip away, that gives you a better opportunity.
Again, historically, 17 and 14 the series. Thompson leads it by 3. But in the game so far tonight, trying to break an 11-game losing streak to Thompson, Vestavia leads it 3-0. The kick goes into the end zone. How's he able to run that out? Runs it out to the 25, 27-yard line. He was standing in the end zone. I didn't know he could run it out.
I think that's why Vestavia's defense or special teams paused a little bit. Let's go to the keys to the game for the Vestavia defense coming in to tonight's ball game. Protect against the deep ball. We've talked about it. You got to keep everything in front. There are some dynamic receivers on this Thompson team, and then force turnovers. For Vestavia in this type of ball game, you're going to have to make a play, and they've already done that with Will Bachnick and the interception on the first drive.
All right, so Seaborn's back out there. He's going to throw it over the middle. That is complete. That is big. Dedrick Kimbrough with it. He's hard to bring down as he works his way out near midfield. This guy's got a lot of SEC offers.
Yeah, that's the first time they've targeted him tonight. It won't be the last. Just did a nice job of recognizing where the open space was in the zone, and Seaborn very quickly just looked like he wanted to sprint out, but just took 1 or 2 steps and delivered it immediately.
Yeah, he's a 6'2 receiver that will play in the SEC. He had a big game against Grayson in their close loss to start the year on national TV. Again, through the air, Seaborn looking. Here comes the Vestavia pressure, and another Rebel sack as Seaborn goes down for a 3-yard loss.
And that is such a good job, and that's doing that without blitzy linebackers. That is this defensive line really taking it to this Thompson offensive line early going.
Manown and Arundel were in there. It looked like Ussery was in there as well. Bridges in there, so a good job up front from Vestavia. And now it is 2nd and 12 as that play went backwards, only lost 2 yards. And Thompson working behind the change, a rarity for them. Remember, they've outscored their opponents 110-0 in the last 2 games. Swing pass out near side. Vestavia's got defenders out there. It's defended really well and not going to get a ton of yardage there. As you get 26 and 18, that is Hogue out there, and also Richardson, who makes the play. Hogue and Richardson.
Richardson did such a good job taking on the blocker. He had not only take the blocker, push him back, and then get off that block to be able to make that tackle.
All right, so now on 3rd down and 8 for Thompson, just inside Vestavia territory at the 49-yard line. Big 3rd down play. Little adjustment by the defense. They run a bunch set at the top. There's a holding flag. As Seaborn throws it, it's going to be complete at the 41-yard line, but this one is coming back. It was a extended hold there. Easy to call for the ref, and that'll back him up 10 yards.
And that time Vestavia did bring an extra rusher. Typically Vestavia plays 3 down linemen. That time they rushed 4, got to the outside, and a pretty easy call for the officials that time.
3-0 Vestavia leads it. We're in the first quarter on a night that has seen rain around us here, but not a ton of rain anywhere close to game time. It is cool, a little breezy, though the flags on top of the hill not doing a ton of moving right now, and neither are the ones on top of the goalpost. Sort of in front of the Vestavia band is this 3rd down play for Thompson. 3rd and long for them. We'll call it 18. They got 3 receivers top, 1 near side. We've got 3 down linemen.
7 drop back in coverage.
That's a diamond change, right?
That's right.
You don't laugh at my jokes anymore. Handoff right up the middle, draw play, trying to get some of that back. Big tackle in there by Manown and Bridges.
So interesting decision there by this Thompson staff. They decided to just run it up the middle, get themselves in a position to now go for it on this 4th and 8.
4th down and 8. Showing blitz is Vestavia. Now an audible coming in from Mark Freeman in that Thompson sideline. In the same way, Merrill and Robert Evans will adjust and back out. 3 down linemen again, 7 in coverage is the way it looks right now. Kimbrough near side. He's the big stud receiver. Seaborn's going to run it. Try to get the first down. It's going to come up short. Vestavia's going to take over on downs again.
Looked like it could have been a hold there again against the Thompson offensive line, but a great defensive series, and Vestavia continuing to get pressure against this Thompson offense just by rushing 3.
We'll have one more play here in the first quarter, and then we'll move to the second with Vestavia on top 3-0. Vestavia is set now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did he get off in time? Pitch near side. That's going to go to Stubbs trying to run it. Knocked out of bounds and then pushed again as he's out of bounds. Play barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And there were 12 on the field when that ball was snapped.
Yeah.
The extra defender did not get off the field, but the officials did not see it.
Yeah, on their sideline, the flag didn't come, but it was one guy trying to get off and Vestavia snapped it. That'll end the first quarter. Vestavia leads it 3-0 over number 1 Thompson. We played 1. We'll come back for the second quarter after this on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Home base right here in Birmingham, Alabama.
We are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends.
We are here for you, aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Good look at the Rebels there. They lead in first downs. They lead in total yards so far, and they lead on the scoreboard 3-0.
Yeah, let's go to the offensive keys to the game for tonight. What you want to see from this Vestavia offense with a new quarterback in. Number 1 is protect the quarterback. And so far in that first quarter, this offensive line did a really good job of protecting Bryce LeMaster. And then sustain drives. You can't afford to have these 3 and outs. Got a 4 and out to start the game, but then the defense stepped up, and then we're able to, after the interception, to go get points, but need to sustain drives throughout this ball game. Can't afford to just go 3 and then give it right back to this Thompson offense.
3-0 Rebels lead as we start the second quarter here in Alabaster. LeMaster again in for quarterback. The injured Charlie Taff out tonight, could be back next week. Man in motion is Hunt. LeMaster is going to swing it out near side. That's Purdy with it. Tries to avoid a defender. He is not able to do that, and that play will get back to the line of scrimmage.
That was a really good decision by Price LeMaster. Had a couple of guys out in the route. Well defended in the secondary by Thompson. LeMaster goes to the check down, and then just an outstanding tackle by Trent McCorvey.
So it's 3rd down and 10 now for Vestavia, trying to get something going with the lead. Letting the clock play down a little bit. 15 as we get a audible in from the sideline. Fake the handoff, LeMaster over the middle, intended for Ainsworth, and it goes incomplete.
I like that play call. Did the play action, tried to get it to Ainsworth right over the middle, threw it a little bit high, which I think he had to do to get it over the top of the linebacker. Great reaction by DeMonte Tab to get there and knock that down, but that play had a chance, just missed by a little.
4th down, punt team is out. That's going to be Sloan Morgan, who's going to try to pin Thompson back. Average is right around 40 yards a kick. Morgan trying to avoid the press. Little side kick, going to try to not set up a return. It's going to bounce, hit a defender, fall on it, goes out of bounds, unfortunately. Had tapped number 6 there, Kevin Davis, and unfortunately too close to the sideline. It bounced out of bounds. We'll hold it right here with Vestavia up 3-0. Thompson gets the ball back.
And for Vestavia defense, you just keep doing what you've been doing. Stay in your rush lanes. Stay where you're supposed to be assignment-wise. And they forced Seaborn to get rid of the football before he wants to. They put pressure on him. He's had to rush and flush out of the pocket several times. And just making sure that the receivers are not able to release deep, and you got to be able to run with them. Vestavia mostly has been playing man under with 2 safeties deep.
Bunch receivers top side for Thompson. Number 1 in the state, ranked nationally. Seaburn's a 4-star recruit, going to air it downfield, open, got the defense beat. Now it's a foot race, and they're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Thompson. That is Darian Mosley for 6.
Vestavia's had good success so far, showing one coverage, playing another. That time, they showed man, they shifted a safety kind of to go back to a cover 3 look, and that receiver just split the corner and the safety right down the middle, wide open. Good throw by Seaborn. Talk about that accuracy that he has throwing the ball. That was a no-doubter.
Mosley's a guy that will play on Saturdays as well. UAB has interest, several SEC teams. His 5th touchdown of the year for him. And Thompson, that quickly here in the 2nd quarter, takes the lead. Extra point pending here. Get a little motion on the line, and that'll back Thompson up a little bit.
Probably wouldn't have mattered on that play, but remember, guys are playing in different positions. You've got cornerbacks playing safety. You've got your starting safety not in the ball game. So it's just hard when it's not a position that you're as familiar with playing.
Communication-wise and things like that, right? Your tendencies and what your reads are sometimes can get a little confusion up there. But he just split the seam. That was just one great athlete throwing to another great athlete on a perfect throw, perfect call. And they win the chess match there, and then the extra point is up and good, and it's 7-3. Thompson leads it. Quick answer for them. We got a penalty flag. We'll hold it here for a second. Procedure penalty against Thompson again. And Mark Freeman wants to talk to the head official, the Whitecap. We'll go over and talk to Mark Freeman, who's out at the numbers. So they'll back it up 5 more yards and kick it again.
Back-to-back penalties on the extra point, which obviously could be important as the game goes along.
One way you keep that from happening, you should make the extra point.
That's right.
Keep making them. And now we're going to get a official stopping it. And they need the ball back.
That's sort of important.
You can't kick the extra point without a ball. That one brought back by some local ROTC guys who chased that one down. A lot of sponsorships here. I'm surprised they don't have one of those nets with a local insurance company.
Agree.
Yeah, like they do at some colleges. Here we go now. Kick pending from Ethan Black, who has been getting a lot of practice.
Unbelievable.
We're going to get another procedure penalty here. Well, unless they're saying Vestavia somehow is causing them. And that's what the signal, what's that, the communication signals talking.
Right.
So that's going to move 5 yards back closer. And truthfully, all Ethan Black is saying, man, I got one job. If we can just let me kick it real quick, and I'll get out of y'all's way.
I think that must have been what Coach Freeman was arguing earlier is that Vestavia made some kind of sound or some kind of motion to get them to jump off.
Yep. Point after touchdown. Snap bobbled a little bit, but the kick is boomed into the Alabaster Knight, and it's 7-3 Thompson. Now we'll take a timeout.
Got another flag out on the play. That is like 5 in a row.
This is becoming almost comical.
This one looked like it was after the kick.
Let's see what this is. Personal foul on Thompson after the kick. It'll be assessed on the kickoff. So let's take a break here. Rebel Nation Sports Network. Thompson leads at 7-3.
We're proudly local, headquartered in Birmingham with offices in Vestavia Hills and Austin, Texas. A family of companies, Molecular Designs and Streamline Scientific, serving labs nationwide. We develop smarter molecular tools, from advanced PCR assays to improved sample collection and rapid extraction systems, plus seamless lab software. Together, we're a family of companies, simplifying, advancing, and empowering labs across America. Streamline Scientific and Molecular Designs. Local innovation, national impact, serving labs nationwide. Let's go Rebels!
Hey, don't forget, Vestavia fans, you can support Vestavia Hills Athletics by shopping online at the official Rebel store. Visit onerebelathletics.com and click Rebels Shop. Brands include Peter Millar, Nike, Johnny O, Viore, and a lot more. It's all right there at onerebelathletics.com. Jim Dunaway, Chad Pilcher, back with you at Thompson, where one play, 70 yards. Not the kind of drive you need if you want Vestavia to stay in this thing.
No, but a 15-yard penalty after that extra point backs Thompson up, so they'll be kicking off from the 25.
10:54 to go in the half. Big booming kick's going to be taken by Laws at the 12. And here he goes as he puts on the wheels. Near side, finds a block, works his way out across the 35 to the 37, where he's stacked up there and thrown to the ground after the whistle there. So, and we do have a flag down on the play.
And there's some extracurriculars there. Several Thompson players pushing and jawing. Flag did come out, I would imagine, if it's what we saw.
This flag was down earlier, almost a blocking on Vestavia. No flag there from the after the play extracurriculars.
Yeah, it looks like Vestavia's backing up just a little. So
yeah, blocking the back, it looked like, is going to be the call. Holding on the kick cover, on the kick return team.
So before that last play, I was going to talk about total yards so far tonight, and as that last drive for Thompson began, Vestavia was leading 68 yards to 58 yards, but after that 170-yard play, it's now Thompson 128, Vestavia 68.
Yeah, that's math right there. Add 70, it goes up a lot really quick. All right, handoff near side, trying to reestablish the run game. You get a great run right there from Boylan as he works his way out to the 41. First down, Vestavia.
Really nice blocking on the edge by the Vestavia offensive line. Nice job by Boylan finding the open space. Nice gain for a first down.
Yep, they're still trying to run a player off. They're not able to do that. And we got flags coming in everywhere. And it's going to be an illegal substitution on Thompson.
And Vestavia's been mixing up the tempo, has not gone maybe as quickly, as consistently as they typically do. And that time Thompson tried to get someone off late, did not do it in time. So Vestavia's going to pick up 5. I think it's a good time to take a shot.
Yeah.
1st and 5, you've got some momentum. Maybe you go a little play action and take a deep ball.
So you're calling for a shot. Got a good run. Got a couple of guys back there to protect him right now. Laws is a deep playmaker near side. Then here comes Stubbs in motion to join Laws on the near side. They're going to fake it up the middle and now throw it over the top. Intended for Stubbs. He grabs it and then it falls down to the turf, incomplete. A lot of hands down there, but Stubbs had him by a step, and we got a flag down.
I like that shot even better because it wasn't a formation that would make you think they were going to take a shot, and then they still did. Beautiful ball, LeMaster, just a good recovery by Thompson, and now it's going to back Vestavia up with an illegal man downfield.
An eligible downfield. Somebody got out of the blocking zone, and that's going to back them up 5 yards.
That was such a good throw there by LeMaster. Just really nice recovery by Micah Fleming.
2nd and 5, though the yard marker says, the down marker says first down, but it's 2nd and 10 now. 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff. LeMaster with plenty of time. Batted down over the middle. And that's one of their big future players, Noah Streeter. He's just like a Vita Vea in the middle of the line, just a big plugs up, and he couldn't get to the quarterback, raises his hand and bats it down.
I mean, he was standing at the line of scrimmage. He got no push whatsoever, but just at the last minute threw his hand up to knock that one down.
Second down, the scoreboard says now, so second down and 10. LeMaster by himself throws over the middle and complete. Catch and about a 6-yard gain there. That's over to our buddy Braxton Hunt, who's looked good since he's gotten in some playing time this year.
He's done a really good job. We talked about Grayson Harper and how well he started the season. Hunt's a guy that they've thought very highly of for a while, had him dressed out a lot with the varsity as a freshman, and now here as a sophomore. Makes a nice catch after having a nice week last week and scoring a touchdown.
9:40 to go, first half, 7-3 Thompson. LeMaster quickly over the middle again and avoiding the tackle and getting the first down. Is that Stubbs again?
It is.
Yep, Stubbs a favorite target for LeMaster, who's doing a great job of running this offense right now.
Clearly, this offensive staff for Vestavia sees where the soft spot is in this Thompson secondary, and they're exploiting that early.
Okay, this goes right to Boylan. This one's not going to work as it's eaten up over there by big 44 Chauncey Alo.
That's the second play on this drive where Alo has just fired off into the backfield, almost looked unblocked to make a big tackle in the backfield.
Negative yardage on first down. Second and 13. Quickly to the line, Vestavia. LeMaster rolling near side now. Blitzing from the secondary, he gets it off in time. That's Stubbs again, avoids the tackler, and then gets it down to about the 35. Yep, they'll mark it at the 35, about a yard short from being a first down.
That was a really good throw by LeMaster. He got hit as he let go of the football. Stubbs did a good job of getting north and south, and in big contact, looked like two Thompson players hit each other as they went to make that tackle.
I think I'm right about this. Yeah, Taft not dressed at all tonight. After that big hit to LeMaster. Great fake there, and LeMaster up the middle, takes another big hit, but gets another first down. Boy, this kid is playing his tail off with this offense in place of Charlie Taft.
Obviously, that's a read by the quarterback. That is not a designated play. Perfectly job of reading that play. But looks like we have a flag on the far sideline.
Oh, this is going to be a procedure penalty.
I think they're going to get him on a legal formation. I think that's called a. I think that's formation was the call. That's a huge penalty against the Rebels.
That's one of those things that comes from the line judge who's on the side with the team that is playing defense.
Absolutely.
And they're, at that point they're yelling, hey, that's illegal, that's illegal, that's illegal.
That's right. Because if it had been motion, they'd have killed it early, and it had to be a formation. So go from first down up at the 30 to now you got a 3rd and 6.
Stubbs struggling to get his cleat back on. He finally does after taking a couple of big hits. 5 on the play clock. LeMaster now throwing over the middle, complete to Laws, but play is blown dead, like you said. Yeah. He was never set, trying to get his cleat right.
Yeah, that's probably the first mistake LeMaster's made tonight. He didn't realize that Stubbs wasn't ready. Stubbs was still running to get set, trying to get his shoe right. He had tape coming all off his shoe, and he was still running to his spot when that ball was snapped.
Would have been a first down, but backing ourselves up here, back-to-back penalties. Clock rolling at 7:50 to go in the half. 7-3. Thompson leading Vestavia.
Goodness, that's Vestavia's 6th penalty of the night. Cost them 47 yards already.
Yep. Well, how many does Thompson have? Probably about 5.
Yeah, 5 yep. for 43. So both
11
teams.
penalties. 6 of them came on the PAT.
That's right.
We split about 6 there. Now Vestavia is going to take a timeout here. This is a big play on 3rd and 11. So Robert Evans and Josh Franklin want to think it over. And as we sit here and reset this, listen, you're down. Even if you had all your players, 7-3, the way we're playing right now would be a good sign. Hats off, A+ for effort and everything Vestavia is doing so far.
This has been an outstanding game so far for Vestavia. They look like they belong in this ball game. They look like the 5th-ranked team in the state, and that's how they're playing so far tonight. That's a good timeout by Coach Evans and the staff. Take the guys, take a break. You just picked up back-to-back first downs on a 3rd and 1 and then a 3rd and 6, but you had penalties on both of those plays, and both of them were alignment penalties, just not getting set, not being in the right spot. That's the kind of thing that just drives a coach crazy. So call a timeout. You can see them pretty animated down there in the huddle. Get the kids to take a deep breath where, depending on this 3rd down, you could be in 4-down territory here.
4 down, being aggressive, going forward on 4 downs. That's part of the way Robert Evans likes to coach. They've done that already tonight. They've done that deep in their own territory. Thompson's done that tonight. This is one of those where you sort of let it all hang out. We do appreciate you being with us as you watch us on the Rebel Nation Sports Network. We appreciate all the students who are part of this broadcast. This is part of the curriculum at Vestavia. If you're watching us around the state or the nation, we're a student-run organization here, and we appreciate you being with us.
I got to go to the studio at the high school this week. First time I had been up there, and just such a cool operation. Miss Abby Gillette does a great job teaching these kids, and they've got a great setup where they can learn to try and get in this field.
And they haven't invited me yet. So rub it in. 3rd down, 11. LeMaster on the snap. Got a little time. He avoids the pass rush. He's off to run it, and he's going to work the sidelines, pick up a few yards, and set up a 4th down if they decide they want to go to it, and probably they will.
Another smart decision by LeMaster, another flag on the field.
Is it the far side again?
Far side, just above the numbers.
Holding this time on Vestavia.
Goodness gracious.
All of a sudden, that far line judge has become a flag machine. He's spitting them out like a Pez dispenser.
Yeah, this drive has just kind of gone from a really good spot to just all over the place. We'll see if Coach Freeman enforces the yardage or declines it. If you move it back, obviously it'll be a longer yardage that you would have to go to pick up the 1st down, but it also continue to be 3rd down. If you decline it, it'll be about a 4th and 7. He didn't give a signal.
Yep. But it looks like it's going to be a... Nope, they're going to take it.
The official forgot to signal.
So they're going to back it up 10, and it's going to be 3rd and long at the 44 of Vestavia. Now way back where this drive started.
So that'll be 3rd down.
Yep. Now they move it up to the 45. This officiating crew getting the set right. They do it here on the high school level without help from replay or any of that. So no harm taking your time, guys, and getting it right. Good to move it back to the 45 where it's a big 3rd and long, 3rd and 21. LeMaster going to throw this one up and just see what happens. It's going to be intercepted. Now you got to make a tackle on the return. On the far sideline, cut back, and now they got some blockers. That's a crackback block there on 14 as he gets knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
So the idea behind that type of play is you're willing to just throw it up. It almost becomes the equivalent of a punt. What you can't do is throw that ball short. If you throw that ball, you've got to throw it where it's either your guy or it's out of bounds. If it gets intercepted, that's fine, but you don't want it happening in the open field where they have an opportunity to run. That's what happened, and he must have stepped out of bounds about midfield. So a little bit of a break there for the Vestavia as they'll move it back to the Thompson 49.
All right, Thompson takes over in Vestavia territory at the 49-yard line after the interception, as you said, not really on LeMaster there. It was a virtual 3rd down punt in a 3rd and 21 situation. Now the defense needs to get back in. Seaburn's going to try to go deep again. He's going to roll near side. Here comes the Vestavia pressure. He's just going to throw it away out of bounds, out of the pocket. Good play by the veteran Seaborn. To tell you that touchdown pass from Seaborn of one pass for 70 yards. Remember last year when he played Vestavia, he had 2 completions on 7 attempts for 14 yards. That was one of his best plays against Vestavia in his career.
It was, and you can see just Vestavia continuing to get pressure. That was really good coverage in the secondary by Parker Simpson and Walker Hogue.
Seaborn now going to get back to the running game. Give it off to R.J. Evans, who is plugged in the middle there for just a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Rush Harper was there to make that tackle, and this Vestavia defensive line continuing to get a good push. Haynes Bridges in on the play as well.
So 3rd and 8, 6:40 to go here in the first half. 7-3, Vestavia led at 3-0, and then one play, 70 yards, put Thompson up 7-3, and that's where we are right now. Thompson with the football as we play on their home field with an 11-game win streak in the series for Thompson. Some of them have been really close battles, though. Seaburn with all the time in the world. Now here comes the late pressure. He throws it over the middle. Knocked loose. Great hit over there.
Good call by the back judge. Came in and called that incomplete. For a second, looked like they might call that a catch and an interception. Correct call, incomplete pass.
Baker Hunley on the hit there, number 18. Was that him?
Richardson.
Okay, that was Richardson on the hit. Legal hit him right in the breadbasket, knocked the ball loose. Textbook. Fourth down. Thompson's going to choose to punt here, or at least it appears.
Yeah, Vestavia is going to stay in punt safe, keeps the defense on the field. Well, we had movement here. No. Goodness gracious.
Punts off. It's a boomer inside the 10. Let that thing hit. It does. It goes into the end zone, and we'll get the touchback. Yeah. 6:07 with the touchback as we get ready to run towards halftime. You'll see the Vestavia Hills band coming up at halftime.
Yeah, they do a great job every single week. They brought the whole crew here tonight on that last punt. Officiating is hard, but the gunner to the outside was still jogging to his spot when that ball was snapped, so did not get set. No flag came out.
Vestavia in their road whiteys and with the football. Two receivers near side, Stubbs and Laws, of course, and LeMaster's going to dump it off out of the backfield, and Hunt is met very quickly, and the play is going to lose yard. Another first down play that goes the wrong way.
There it goes. So that time you get a personal foul. Is going to come out against Thompson. Trent McCorvey slapped Zach Laws across the head.
Going to get an ejection probably.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Did they call that a punch? Did they call it a slap? Is it enough? Definitely contact to the head with his hand. I mean, he swung and hit him.
Yeah.
Personal foul against Thompson.
No ejection, just a personal foul.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of jawing, and you got to wonder. Look, Thompson could tell. They know the starting quarterback's not in. How was their mindset coming into this ball game? They've had some battles against Vestavia, but Vestavia's come out and played so hard, so well, and really kind of took it to mano a mano, gone back and forth in this ball game. Could lead to a little frustration. But there it led to a penalty in 15 yards.
1st and 10. LeMaster now throwing it near side of the numbers. Incomplete, intended for Hunt out there. No harm, no foul there.
Yeah, Hunt was coming out of his route. Maybe he wanted to get out that a little bit quicker and make that break to the outside. Good job by LeMaster. That's the type of throw you want to see. Put the ball where it's either your guy's going to get it or it's going to go out of bounds. Don't put it in harm's way for the defenders.
LeMaster had to get rid of it because Moala, who's signed to play for Bill Belichick in North Carolina, was closing in on him. 2nd down and 10. LeMaster under center now. He's going to hand it off, power I formation to Purdy up the middle. That play is going to get a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9.
And Moala's an interesting story. He was a guy that was in Oregon, correct?
Right.
Committed to Oregon.
Right.
And then this summer decommitted to Oregon and then moved to Alabaster, Alabama, and then shortly thereafter committed to UNC. So pretty unique situation for him to get here to Thompson. One of, at our last count, of about 13 transfers that moved into this Thompson program over the summer.
He's a 6'2", 350-pound dude that can move better than most small vehicles. LeMaster with it. Here he comes, Walla after LeMaster. The pass is going to be incomplete. The pressure coming from the big guy up the middle. It'll be 4th down.
And that time, by design, no one blocked him. It was a slip screen. So the offensive lineman let the defensive lineman go. They then release down the field. You throw that pass behind the line of scrimmage on the slip screen. But Moala was coming so fast. Ball came out just a little bit too hot by LeMaster. Hit off the receiver's hand and fell incomplete.
Punt's going to come from Sloan Morgan, and then it's going to be on the defense to try to get us to the locker room in a 7-3 situation here. 5:06 to go, 2nd quarter in Alabaster, as they say in their alma mater, between the hills of Old Salura. Low line kick, but it's going to get over the head of their return guy, and it's going to bounce inside the 10 to the 5, inside the 5. We'll call it the 4-yard line, and that is a booming punt right there. Man, that's almost 70 yards. That's 65 yards.
Outstanding punt by Sloan Morgan. Just a great job. That's why you love that rugby-style kick. First off, it helps you in coverage. By rolling to the right, taking your time, it allows your coverage team to get down the field, and then if you get that bounce at the right spot and your coverage team is down, there's no opportunity for the return man, and just a perfect bounce and roll that time for the Rebels.
65-yard punt. I'm going to call it the longest in Vestavia history until somebody tells me otherwise. It's the longest I've ever seen in Vestavia history in my 4-game career here is in the broadcast booth. Okay, Thompson's backed up. They're in a little I formation. Seaborn is going to hand it off, and they're going to try to get some breathing room, and they punch it out for a couple of yards, but not a ton. It'll be 2nd down.
And more good pursuit by this Vestavia defense, just reading the play, immediately getting in there to make the tackle. Look like that time it was Grayer Manown on the tackle.
Man, those guys up front have done a wonderful job tonight, including Ussery, who's over there on the left side. He shifts out a little gap to the top side of your screen. Seaburn straight pass here, throws it out in the flat. It is caught, and then an open field tackle, textbook over there by number 9, Will Botnick.
Nice tackle by Botnick and a nice read by Seaborn that time. Vestavia brings pressure. Seaborn understanding where his routes are developed, and he threw it to Tanner Iman to the outside. Tight end being recruited by South Florida, Southern Miss, North Alabama, Louisiana Monroe.
Yep, name them. That's first down for them. Reset their play clock with the clock rolling at 4:08 to go in the first half. Seaburn would run back behind it. Fakes the handoff, throws it out to the flat. It is incomplete. Quick hustle over there from the Rebels, but that goes out of bounds. Was a forward pass anyway. They try to set up the wide receiver screen, incomplete.
And Daniel Richardson once again flying to the football. He has been all over the place so far tonight.
He really has. And second down now. Big, big defensive series here for the Rebels.
And cannot say enough about how big it is to have a no gain or a negative yardage play on first down. It sets the tone for that entire series.
4:01 on the play clock after the incomplete. Now the clock's rolling. Seaburn fakes it and has nowhere to go. He is taken down, and on the tackle, the big guy, number 50, Paxton Ussery, taking the 4-star recruit to the turf.
Yeah, great rush there by Ussery coming from the outside. Got the speed, and then just looked like he bull rushed the offensive lineman into Seaborn to come up with that sack. Huge play for the Rebs. It's going to be 3rd and long.
3rd and 16, in fact. I'll call that long. 3rd and 16. Let's see if you can get out of here and maybe get the ball back and steal some points before the half. But got to keep the guys in front. Remember, their one scoring play was a one-play 70-yard drive, so they can score from anywhere on the field. They're letting this clock tick down now just in case they don't get the first down. 5 on the play clock, 4 on the play clock, right in front of the Vestavia student section. 2, they just get it off, and they got a procedure penalty. It's going to back them up 5 yards. May have gotten a timeout before the penalty. We'll see. Mark Freeman was signaling for a timeout, and they're going to get the timeout, I think, before the penalty. No flag. Yep. Timeout, Mark Freeman. We'll take the timeout, too. 3:05 to go. Big 3rd down play coming up right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Located at the intersection of Highway 119 and Thompson Road.
Back with you here in Alabaster. A big look into the defensive huddle for Vestavia. 7-3, number 1 in the state, Thompson, leading Vestavia right now in what has been a toe-to-toe battle of 2 top 5 teams.
And look at these stats. Thompson only has 4 first downs on the night. They have 136 yards of total offense, but as you just said, 70 of that on one play. So otherwise, only 66 yards. They've held Trent Seaborn to 5 of 10 for 105. Just a great job. R.J. Evans is their leading rusher, 5 carries, 23 yards, and now a huge play here in this ball game. If Vestavia can get a stop, have a chance to get really good field position with 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in this second quarter.
How aggressive are you defensively here? 3rd down, 16 to go. Speed all over the field, spread 4 wide. They're going to run it up the middle. Tackle made short of the first down, and we'll see if Vestavia calls a timeout. They do not. 4th down, and here comes the Thompson punt team with the clock rolling at 2:52 and going.
So Vestavia, having seen the last 3rd and long situation when Thompson had a 3rd and 18, they just ran it up the middle, picked up about 10 or 11. That time Vestavia expected it. They went into a run-stop defense, had about 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. The run did come, and they make the stop and force the punt.
Good eyes by you there. Stubbs is back, standing just around midfield. Tried to hold the rugby-style punt and almost got it blocked. Does get the punt out to the 48, but that's where Vestavia will take over with plenty of time. 2:22 to go in the half and a chance to get some points before you go to the locker room.
That is great pressure by the punt return team. Did a good job. Didn't block that punt, but certainly forced it to go awry and kind of came out oddly. Good field position for Vestavia. Vestavia has 2 timeouts left, 2 minutes, 22 seconds. You can run your entire offense, and if you could just love a touchdown, but if you could get some points and have that momentum going here into the half.
Bryce LeMaster in his first start this year keeps the football. It got ripped out. It's a fumble. Thompson's trying to get it, and they got it. LeMaster trying to do something up the middle, off of the fake, didn't secure it, and gets it ripped out of there. Thompson ball.
Went with the speed option look. LeMaster decided to keep the ball, and nice play. And so now a real huge shift in this ball game. Vestavia had all the momentum, a chance to go cut into this lead, and instead now you've given Thompson really good field position.
All right, defense has to bow up right here after the turnover.
Thompson has 1 timeout left, 2:15 on the clock.
Do you take a shot?
Yeah, they're going to take several shots. I think you'll see them be very aggressive here.
Talk about this first play after the turnover, quick exchange. You try to go deep? Nope, they hand it off, and boy, is it met right there on the line. My goodness. Is that 39 Greer Manown?
Manown in there, Haynes Bridges as well, just fired off from this defensive right side, and a great start to this drive defensively for the Rebels.
Ooh, that was a well-played defensive line play by the Rebels there. Goes backwards, and now they slow it down a little bit. 1:48, clock rolling. Second down there behind the chains. They put Jackson near side, fake it to him. Now Seaburn's going to throw it out to Jackson. 2 defenders out there. He lowers his head. Good tackle over there.
And you could live with that for Vestavia. Check down, force them into a 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, we'll call it.
Richardson and Patillo out there and make it 3rd down as they just swung it to the receiving back, KJ Jackson. 3rd down and 8. Clock at 1:15. Seaburn straight drop. Here comes a little pressure, throws, almost intercepted. Richardson almost had another pick there.
Yeah, Richardson is having a game tonight. He has been outstanding. He read that perfectly, had the crossing route coming across the middle of the field trying to get the ball to Iman, and Richardson saw it, dove in there, and knocked it down. What a huge stop for this Vestavia defense.
Standing ovation for most of the Rebel fans here for that defensive unit as they come off. Well, only some of them come off because they're playing a little punt safe here. Don't want to get faked on. 4th down at midfield. Snap to the punter, and the kick is away. It's going to hit and take a big Thompson roll. It's going to go out of bounds at the 10-yard line, in Vestavia with 59 seconds to go in the half. Probably will try to take this one to the locker room.
So obviously you're a little frustrated because you had that good field position, a chance to get points, but how about that Vestavia defense coming up huge, forcing that punt, and you're exactly right. Now, I don't know if they'll just try to run it straight ahead or maybe even just take a knee and get to the half. Thompson does have 1 timeout, but Vestavia can get it to the half without running anything. I do not think there's any way that you would force, and yeah, they're going to line up and to take a knee.
In the victory formation, out of the shotgun though, but they'll just try to kneel down here and have to do that one more time unless Mark Freeman decides to use that timeout, and I don't think he will. A lot of respect between these two coaches. You would think, okay, this region is so bloodthirsty when it comes to wins and making the playoffs and all that, but really these two guys have a great deal of respect. One great offensive mind, one great defensive mind.
You're exactly right. They talk a good bit, maybe not as much this week, but they do communicate well and talk from time to time. Great respect for each other, and it seems like every time Vestavia comes out here, we have a really, really good ball game. This is an outstanding first half for Vestavia. Now the question is, can you keep that going into the second half and give yourself a chance to win this ball game at the end?
Starting quarterback, not in the game. Leading rusher, leading receiver, leading tackler. But so far against number 1 Thompson, it's 7-3. Thompson leads it. Vestavia's in the fight. We'll look at the Vestavia Rebel Marching Band when we come back right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Home base right here in Birmingham, Alabama.
We are here, treating patients from every generation,
Across the United States.
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves.
We are here for the achievers.
Who are resilient.
And won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
Athletic trainers and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you.
Aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
At Taylor Burton Company, we've been building and remodeling homes in Vestavia Hills since 1986. That's back when shoulder pads weren't just for football. This isn't just where we work, it's home. We live here, we raise our families here. Our kids all wore the Rebel jersey under these Friday night lights. That's why we care so deeply about what we do. Quality, craftsmanship, and community. That's what we're built on.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt the communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
Halftime in Alabaster, number 1 Thompson 7, number 5 Vestavia 3 on the field for your enjoyment. The marching Rebel Band from Vestavia Hills High School.
High School Rebel Marching Band. Color guard sponsor is Miss Virginia Buchanan. Majorette sponsor is Miss Hannah Hatchett. Rockette sponsor is Miss Andrea Burris, and percussion instruction is provided by Double Stopper Construction. Thank you to our band sponsors, Gil and Pat Berry, Boardman Car Attorneys, Keller Williams Realty, Hematology and Oncology Associates of Alabama, Thunderbird Professional Services.
Baptist Health is on your team. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Baptist Health, on your team, on and off the field.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
For more than 50 years, Senator Jabbo Waggoner has served Alabama with honor and called Vestavia Hills home. Thank you, Senator Waggoner, for your historic legacy of service.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Welcome back at the half. We're pleased to be joined by Charlie Steele, the Student Ministry Director at Vestavia Methodist. Charlie, thank you for being here. Thank you for Vestavia Methodist being a part of this broadcast. Why is it important for you guys to be a part?
Yeah. I mean, being a part of this broadcast is great. We have students that are here at the school, right? As a church in the community, I feel like we feel a big pull to the high school, and there's a good relationship there. And personally, I just think high school sports carry so much weight and so much importance in a community like this, and so it's cool to kind of see the church involved with the school in this way.
And obviously in your job, you interact with a number of high school students, middle school students, and a number that are involved in a number of activities at Vestavia Hills High School. So you see kind of every day what it is to be involved, not only in the school, but in the church.
Oh yeah, and I love getting to come to games and seeing our kids that are on the field, but also the kids and the families that are in the stands, right? And you see that this community and how it kind of stretches out, and you get to talk to people. And then obviously when they come to Sunday school on Sunday, getting to talk about the game, and hopefully it's always good. So.
Yeah, and with Vestavia Methodist, obviously centrally located right there in the city, and so you do see all kinds of folks from around the community in your church.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's a cool partnership that we get to have.
Yeah, and so when you talk about the church and being involved, that's the outreach part, right? I mean, this is part of your outreach to that community.
Yeah, and how we kind of see it too is we have different steps and different ways to get people in the doors, and so being able to come to games and talk about the football and the school and the community is a great way to outreach and talk to people and connect.
Well, we appreciate all you do. We appreciate you being part of this broadcast. That's Charlie Steele with Vestavia Methodist, and we'll be right back.
Baptist Health is on your team. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Baptist Health, on your team, on and off the field.
Hi, I'm Maggie Denny, and I'm a senior here at Vestavia Hills High School. I cheer for the football team, and I can't wait to see what this season has in store.
Hi, I'm An Olsen, and I'm a football competition cheerleader here at Vestavia, and I'm a side face.
Hey everybody, my name's Kate Darcraft. I'm a Vestavia Hills football competition cheerleader, and I'm a back spot.
The team's very vibrant, and we're all really great friends with each other.
Our team has been working really hard for football season and for the upcoming competition season, and we have bonded a lot this year, and we're really excited to show everyone our competition routine and show everyone what we've been working on for Friday Night Lights.
A lot goes into competition prep, especially like the mindset, as well as like putting in effort physically and just like making sure you're pushing yourself and like just wanting it especially.
A typical Friday for us usually looks like sometimes we have a pep rally, so we'll have a pep rally that day, and then after school we'll get ready and we'll usually eat dinner as a team.
Then we come to the high school before the football game starts, and we have a big pump-up party that we do with our whole team normally, and it is probably like one of my favorite parts of the day. And then we go and we cheer for the football team. And then normally we probably go eat after together because it's a long day.
I'm looking forward to nationals this year. We work super hard just to get to this point, and even under the hard practices, the pressure, it's worth it in the end.
We work really hard from every practice to every showcase to work and show off our abilities.
I think the one thing people misunderstand is like that our sport is all year round, so we work from August to all the way until February, and then we start back tryouts in March. And I think that's just super, like, people don't really understand that, and we work super hard, especially for like football and for competition.
I just remember going to Alabama games when I was little and seeing the cheerleaders down there, and I'd always just wanted to be one down. Like, I've always wanted to be down there. Like, I just thought it was so cool that so many people watch them. And I was always inspired by it. And I think cheerleaders are very like bold and strong, and I love that.
So we have showcases that are called Friends and Family, and anyone can come, and they're usually on Sundays or right before we have a competition or before we go to nationals.
Everybody come to the football games on Friday nights. They're so much fun.
Go Rebels!
Go Rebels!
Go Rebels!
For more than 50 years, Senator Jabba Wagner has served Alabama with honor and called Vestavia Hills home. Thank you, Senator Wagner, for your historic legacy of service.
Echo those thoughts. Thank you to Senator Jabba Wagner there for 50-plus years of service to Vestavia. Jim Dunaway and company back here, my friend. And Chad, man, we've had a first half to remember. 7-3, Thompson leads it. But it has been a hard-fought game, and the stats show it right here.
If you would have told Coach Evans this 2 hours ago, you're going to get to halftime at 7-3, he would have called you a liar, and he certainly would have taken that. This has been an outstanding performance by Vestavia, especially let's point to the defense. Thompson only has 4 first downs in this ball game. They have 146 yards of total offense, but 70 of those was on one play. It was a 70-yard touchdown pass. Trent Seaborn so far tonight, 6 of 12 for 111 yards, a touchdown. He also has an interception. That was by Will Bachnick, which is what ultimately led to the 3 points for Vestavia Hills. R.J. Evans, 8 carries, 31 yards. Seaborn has carried it 5 times for 1. Obviously, sacks built into that. Darian Mosley has 2 catches for 74 yards, including that touchdowns. And Dedrick Kimbrough, only 1 catch on the night for 22 yards. It's been just a great night for this Rebel defense. Graham Manown leading the Rebels with tackles with 4. And Daniel Richardson has 4 and a pass breakup and a rush. Richardson's a guy that's been all over the field for the Rebels. Price LeMaster in his first start for the Vestavia Rebels, 10 of 19 for 74 yards, had 1 interception, the ball thrown down the sideline in the second quarter. LeMaster also has 7 carries for 10 yards. Noah Boylan, 6 carries for 15 yards. Luke Stubbs is the leading receiver with 4 catches for 43 yards, and Carson Purdy has 2 for 15. What stands out to me, Vestavia, time of possession leads 13-10 compared to 10-50 for Thompson. And then the penalties for Vestavia have been so untimely. 7 penalties for 58 yards, and the big one was on the one drive. We got the first down, would have taken them inside the 30-yard line, had a penalty on that play, then a penalty on the next play, and ultimately had to punt the ball away. And then the fumble, had great field position at the 50 with about 2.5 minutes left, fumbled, gave it back to Thompson, but then the defense stepped up. Once again, all in all, a really strong half for Vestavia Hills.
Vestavia is making their way out to start the second half. Before we take our final break of halftime, we want to remind you that you can support Vestavia Hills Athletics by shopping online at the official Rebel store. Visit onerebelathletics.com, onerebelathletics.com, and click on Rebel Shop. Brands include Peter Millar, Nike, Johnny O, Viore, and a lot more. That's onerebelathletics.com. This is the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Home base right here in Birmingham, Alabama.
We are here treating patients from every generation
Across the United States.
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves.
We are here for the achievers.
Who are resilient.
And won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
Athletic trainers and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you.
Aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
At Taylor Burton Company, we've been building and remodeling homes in Vestavia Hills since 1986. That's back when shoulder pads weren't just for football. This isn't just where we work, it's home. We live here, we raise our families here. Our kids all wore the Rebel jersey under these Friday night lights. That's why we care so deeply about what we do. Quality, craftsmanship, and community, that's what we're built on.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt a communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
Thompson leads Vestavia 7-3 as we get ready for the second half. Thompson will get the ball first. I just got a text from someone who's watching in Oklahoma, and they're like, you guys are playing with the #1 team in the state, 5-time state champion in the last 6 years without your starting quarterback, and that's where the conversation starts. The job Price LeMaster and that offense has done, 10 of 19 passing the football, but he and the whole 11 out there offensively, they've had a plan, they've stuck to it, and they've looked pretty good on almost every play.
With very few exceptions, they've been in complete control the entire game. They haven't tried to do too much. They've been able to put together some first downs, move the ball, and without some untimely penalties, had other opportunities to put points on the board. I think it's being consistent here in this second half, continuing to do what you do, even if the score takes a little while. This is a really, really good Thompson defense. offense. You got to stay patient. Just continue to run your offense. And Coach Josh Franklin, the offensive coordinator, has done such a good job of not trying to do too much. He's taken shots when they're there. Haven't quite hit them yet, but he's taken those shots and done a really good job of finding the soft spots in the Thompson zone defense.
Yeah, fact of the matter, as we have 1 minute here before we get going in the second half, is that Thompson had outscored their two previous opponents 110-0, but that offensive there is averaging 42 points a game, and Vestavia's defense has done a wonderful job.
They've done an outstanding job. To talk about those scores, Oak Mountain last week 41-0, the week before 69-0 over Tuscaloosa County. In week 2, lost 24-23 in overtime against Grayson, Georgia, who you mentioned earlier is the #1 ranked team in the highest classification in Georgia. They're ranked number 5, as high as number 5 nationally, and that's a game Thompson probably should have won.
Yeah, in fairness, they led it, but in that situation, Mark Freeman decided to go for 2 in the win right there. Could have very easily kicked it and extended the overtime periods, but went for the you got to go eventually for the win, and he did, and just came up short in that one. So that's a best in Alabama, best in Georgia battle there. That was a draw virtually, except on the scoreboard by 1 point. And here's Vestavia battling with them tonight in their house. That's packed to the rim. And a beautiful setting for football on what has turned out to be a wonderful night.
They've just done a great job staying within themselves. Now, Thompson will get the ball to start this half. I think this is a critical drive. You could argue every drive is critical, especially in this tight of a ball game. But it's important for the Vestavia defense to come out and continue doing what they're doing, make plays, force Thompson. They've had success when they've not allowed them to get the deep ball. The one time they get the deep ball, they scored on a one-play 70-yard drive, but every other time they've kept those receivers in front. They've done a good job of wrapping up, making tackles at the line of scrimmage, and really the Vestavia defensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage.
Their big quarterback, 4-star Trent Seaborn, 6 of 12, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll get the ball first. And it's been a good first half. If you can duplicate it, you got a chance to win late here. Vestavia in their road whites will kick this off, and we'll see what the defense can do first as we're underway in the second half in Alabaster. Kick is taken and out to the 20. A little seam is closed quickly in there. And that is 39, Greer Manown in on the tackle.
Yeah, Manown doing it all tonight. Defensively, special teams, really showing up big. And here comes this Vestavia offense, or excuse me, Vestavia defense with a chance to really make a statement to start this second half.
All right, so here comes Seaborn and those high-powered receivers that each have at least 2 touchdowns receiving this year. They're tall, they're fast, and they're all going to play in college. But so far, they have just 1 touchdown on the night. They'll try to sting early on. Man in motion, Seaborn. Going to hand it off up the middle, and they got running room right up the gut. A slip right there, or R.J. Evans may have had more. Big run, gaping hole up the middle, hit a seam, and got a big first down right out of the gate.
Parker Simpson made the tackle, but not before that big gain. And that's the thing that this Vestavia defense has avoided in the first half and has to avoid for the rest of this ball game to give the Rebels a chance.
A little shifting going on up front. They'll run right back up the middle again. This time a nice tackle in there by sliding and diving Nick Williams.
Really good read that time by Williams, recognizing the play, getting into the backfield to make that tackle for a short gain.
Thompson running with pace now, not giving Vestavia a chance to set up. Now they'll look over an audible. Robert Evans and Chad Merrill also sending in some changes. Plenty of time on the play clock at 25. Thompson gets the snap. It's Seaborn with it. Pressure over the middle. Drops right in the middle of the zone. Perfect throw and a perfect catch there. That's Darian Mosley with the big grab.
That's a very similar to play to the one they broke for the touchdown. Doing it right down the hash. Did a good job, did Seaborn, of fitting it in between Rebel defenders.
No substitution. Up on the line quickly. Let's see if they run a play quickly or just get set up and then look over for an audible, and that's what they'll do. Now the Thompson coaches send in as everybody looks over there. Here comes the Vestavia shift after the audible from Thompson. 15 on the play clock. Seaborn drops back, throws over in the flat, open, complete again, and another Thompson first down. Bang, bang, bang as they're running it. Now a couple of quick passes, and they're down inside the red zone.
That was a nice job by Seaborn. Vestavia brought pressure, had a rusher coming free late. Seaborn stayed there in the pocket to deliver that strike to the outside.
I think that was Price Lewis over there or Mosley again. Both of those guys on the top of the field, and Thompson real quickly down the field with a 4-point lead, 10:20 to go in the third. Number 1 versus number 5. It lived up to the billing in the first half. Vestavia's defense out of the gate trying to hold them to a field goal now that they're in the red zone. Handoff up the middle. That's their big guy. That's RJ again. Fighting for the end zone. Is going to come up a yard short.
Thompson going to make some substitutions here. Clearly they found something that they like coming out of this drive. They're doing a really good job of getting a push on the offensive line.
Check that. That's KJ Jackson, not RJ Evans. So KJ with that carry. And he's close to the goal line. First and goal. They'll go back to KJ, right side, fighting for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Thompson. What a drive to start off the second half for the Warriors.
Yeah, just really well executed by Thompson. Great job by their offensive line up front to get good pushes. Nice job of mixing up the play calling, but some nice passes by Seaborn. Really good blocking, giving big lanes for those Warrior running backs, and they get into the end zone.
All right, extra point coming up. Last time we had an extra point attempt, it was about 11 flags split evenly between the two teams. We'll see if we can get this one off without a penalty flag. Big Ethan Black is out there. He has a booming leg, and this one goes deep into the night. It's 14-3. Thompson will regroup with the offense when we come back on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
We're proudly local, headquartered in Birmingham with offices in Vestavia Hills in Austin, Texas. A family of companies, Molecular Designs and Streamline Scientific, serving labs nationwide. We develop smarter molecular tools, from advanced PCR assays to improved sample collection and rapid extraction systems, plus seamless lab software. Together, we're a family of companies, simplifying, advancing, empowering labs across America. Streamline Scientific and Molecular Designs. Local innovation, national impact, serving labs nationwide. Let's go Rebels!
Inside the Vestavia sideline look there, 14-3 Thompson. After that opening drive, just marched down the field quickly. I'll tell you, all night long, Vestavia's been getting pressure with 4. This time, quick getting the ball out was Seaborn for Thompson. That worked for them.
Yeah, they did a really good job of adjusting on that drive. Now it's going to be up to the Vestavia defensive staff to adjust to Thompson coming back. Just a really well executed, did exactly what they wanted to do. You said it. Seaborn got rid of the ball very quickly, put it on the money, and that offensive line up front with big blocks. Vestavia only scores 3 in the first half. You get the feeling the offense needs to come alive here, because that was an impressive drive to start the game, start the half for the Warriors.
Let's see if we can answer. We did it at Trussville in the road game earlier that ended up in the third quarter not going Vestavia's way, but got a little exchange of points to start the second half. Let's see if it can happen here for us on the road in Thompson. 14-3 down 11 with the football after the touchback. Again, if you're just joining us, the quarterback tonight, number 9, Bryce LeMaster. He was 5 of 5 on the year coming into the game, but he's replacing the injured Charlie Taft. Taft not out for the year. We expect to see him maybe as early as next week for Vestavia.
And LeMaster did a good job in the first half. It's just more of the same. Don't try to do too much. You're not going to get it all back on one play.
LeMaster swarmed quickly, but gets the pass away to Stubbs, but the Thompson defense all over him there. First off, LeMaster had a guy right in his face, Noah Streeter. When he turned around after the fake, Streeter right in his grill.
Yeah, that play just felt a little discombobulated. Red jerseys everywhere, pursuing the football, pursuing the quarterback, and results in a loss for the Rebels.
LeMaster very good with his legs, and he's going to keep this one with 3 blockers out there. Chose to go outside, and the defender releases and knocks him out of bounds. The play may get a yard, and that's not going to help a lot. It's going to be 3rd and 10, so a long third down coming up.
And that's one, if you had it back, you probably want to cut to the inside and try to make that run. Had a little area to run to, but went outside and was pushed out of bounds.
Nobody back there with him now. 5 receivers in the pattern. LeMaster avoids the pass rush, running down the line. Now he fakes it. He's going to run it. Gets a little running room out to the 27-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. That's going to be short of a first down.
Good effort there by LeMaster. Pressure once again forces him out of the pocket. And just nowhere to go. He was rolling to his left. It's hard to throw across your body, but even if he wanted to throw it, there was nobody open, nowhere to go. He fights forward to get a few yards, but that'll force Vestavia into point formation.
They're going to say that he was out at the 25 now, so it's 4th and 5 as Sloan Morgan comes on to punt. He gets the snap, No rush from Thompson. They're back in a return situation. The kick's going to be short. It's going to take a Thompson bounce twice, 3 times. And they get about 10 on the bounce, and they'll take over at Vestavia's 45-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Thompson. And for this game to stay close now, the defense has to bow up.
Yeah, Morgan had a great bounce earlier for that really long punt. That one looked like it went off the side of his foot, and then it rolled backwards. So not ideal on that punt, and good field position for Thompson.
14-3, Thompson leads it. They are 1 for 1 on their drives to start the second half, and they are in plus territory against Vestavia here on the road. 4-man rush, pass right down the seam again. It is complete, and Seaborn's on fire as he hits Price Lewis here, and that's that seam just this side, not the other side.
That's where they've had the most success throwing the football, is just releasing the slot receiver right down the seam, down the hash, and Seaborn delivering it perfectly.
Seaborn now swings this one out in the flats. That's KJ Jackson with it. Open field tackle, done well over there. You got a number over there. Is that 18 again, Daniel Richardson?
Looked like Hogue made that tackle.
Okay, we'll call that Hogue. Walker Hogue with a great open field tackle. That play only gets 4. It's 2nd and 6. Really quick pace from Thompson now as they're trying to get an edge. Their receiver, Price Lewis, likes the cushion that the Vestavia defender's giving. He's trying to get Seaborn's attention to look his way. And there they are. The Vestavia defenders giving it about a 5-6 yard cushion. Seaborn looks straight over there, never looks off, throws to the end zone, touchdown, really easy. That's the number 2, Trey Knight, and they gave Knight and Lewis a lot of cushion over there. That was too easy.
It almost looked like somebody missed the coverage on that one. You wouldn't typically give that much cushion there. He was running down kind of a go route and then just kind of stopped and went to the outside, wide open. Good job, good recognition by Seaborn, and another really quick touchdown. So after holding Thompson to 7 the entire first half, they've now scored 14 points in less than 4 minutes.
That's right. The extra point is good. 21-3 now. Thompson on top of Vestavia as you watch live with us tonight on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Baptist Health is on your team. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Baptist Health, on your team, on and off the field.
Back here at Thompson, 21-3. Thompson's getting ready to kick off. Boy, not the way you want to start the second half.
No, Thompson looks like a completely different team, as does Vestavia. To start this second half, it was such we couldn't say enough good things about the way the Rebels played in that first half, and now these first 4 minutes and 8 seconds, it's just been about as bad as you could imagine. So just a real shift from that first half to these first few minutes of the third quarter time. Vestavia got to get something going here, or this thing could get ugly pretty quick.
All right, Thompson, number 1 in the state. Only left 7-3 at the half. Now it's 21-3. Vestavia's had 1 possession, couldn't get a first down. And they're going to try now to get the touchback and get going. Hey, we got big women's flag football coming up soon.
Yeah, Vestavia boys football team is halfway through the season, and the girls are having an awesome season so far this year. They play this week, September 25th at home, Thompson Reynolds Stadium. They're playing Westminster and Sparkman. They'll kick it off at 5 o'clock, so come out and support the Rebel women's flag football team.
Yeah, best sport in the Olympics when it comes to Los Angeles in a couple of years. That's Boylan on the direct snap, faked it to LeMaster, and he does a good job just to get back to the line of scrimmage. They're doing a good job of beating our offensive line right now on here in the second half.
Getting good pressure, getting into the backfield that time, tried to run a little wildcat look and show some misdirection, but nobody was fooled at all on that play. Big stop in the backfield.
It was one of those where they interchanged Boylan and LeMaster. Now LeMaster's lined up back behind the center. Signals the guy in motion. That's Hunt. LeMaster now with an option. Kicks it out to Boylan with a little running room. Across the 30, first down.
Maybe that's the spark that the Rebels need. It's a speed option. Look, well executed by LeMaster and Boylan. First down of this second half for the Rebels.
Running with a little tempo now. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Quick snap. LeMaster is going to keep this one, dump it off, try to get the screen going, but Hunt can't pull it in. Almost had to try to grab it one hand and couldn't do it.
That's exactly right. They tried to set it up. I was watching the receivers downfield. Why are they blocking? What are they doing? And they brought the screen pass to Hunt underneath, tried to throw that one behind the line of scrimmage, just not quite able to execute it.
So 2nd and 10. Right in front of the marching Southern sounds of Thompson as they play right into the ear hole of Price LeMaster. Stubbs in motion. Fake the handoff. Now they give it back up the middle. That's a face mask, and it's going to be a first down for Vestavia.
And one thing about this band, it is loud and distracting. This is a field does not have a track around it. So the fans and the band are a lot closer to the field than you would typically see at a high school stadium. And they are loud, right? Especially as Vestavia's on this side of the field. You called it the face mask against Thompson, so that'll mark all 15.
15 yards. Thanks for giving me credit on the quick call after you complimented me on the quick call on the band. So that's 2 for 2 for me right there. You know, we're in a bowl here too, right. So the sound, you know, for a high school stadium, I'm not saying it's Neyland Stadium or anything, but it keeps the sound in here. It's a beautiful facility, and it's a great place to watch a high school football game. We got a great view tonight. Hope you're enjoying it live here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network. First down, Vestavia. LeMaster with a clean pocket over the middle, right between 2 receivers, and neither one of them went for the ball. Thought it was going to the other guy.
Yeah, a little confusing there. I feel like somebody may have run that route a little bit incorrectly. They were both running straight towards the middle of the field towards each other, and LeMaster may have been confused as well because that ball split the 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he threw it to a spot. And Stubbs said, okay, Laws, you take it. Laws said, you take it, Stubbs. And neither one of them took it, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Boylan's back there with LeMaster. Stubbs in motion. Handed to Boylan near side off the right side of the offensive line. He's going to get 2 yards, and it's going to set up another 3rd down for Josh Franklin's offense. Okay, what can Josh design here on a 3rd down play? Probably in 4-down territory, though. They get the punt team up early just in case.
Probably want to see something. Maybe can you get something to the edge, use some motion, use some misdirection. One thing with the aggressive Thompson defense, do you try? It's hard to do a reverse just because they're so fast, but maybe some kind of halfback pass. I'm not saying that here, but as the game evolves, could you potentially give a try to something like that?
Bunch receivers at the top. LeMaster's going to roll that way. Got some blocking out there. Now LeMaster plants, floats it downfield, and he's hit. They're going to call that one uncatchable, though, I think.
Certainly got there early, but you're correct. It was too high going out of bounds, so no flag comes out.
I would argue, don't put my receiver in a box. Don't say he couldn't catch that one. Maybe he could have if he hadn't been bumped.
That was really high.
Yeah, it really was. I'm just saying I could make an argument. You know, if I was like a lawyer or something, I could argue the other side of it, is all I'm saying. 4th down. Vestavia chooses to punt here after being very aggressive in the opening half. We're going to punt here down 21-3, low line drive kick. This is going to take that rugby style roll you want, and then be down at the 16-yard line, and that's where Thompson will take over.
So not exactly what you were looking for, but Vestavia does get a 1st down. They move the ball a little bit, and then they get a good punt to force Thompson back. Defense needs to step up here, make a play, get that mojo back that you had in that 1st half, and potentially, if you get a stop quickly, you give your offense some good field position.
All right, maybe a turnover. Got one of those earlier tonight on a great interception. I believe that was Richardson who had the interception earlier tonight. See if we can get another one, or maybe the ball on the turf or something like that. Big shift late from the Vestavia defense. They throw it out, a little wide receiver screen. It is complete. Trying to get a little tackle out there. Couldn't do it. And finally a 1st down for Thompson as it went flying out to their receiver, Trey Knight.
Just get it to the athletes, and there's so many all over the field. You never know which one's going to make the play.
Bachnick couldn't get loose of the receiver who was blocking him to make a tackle, and the play picked up 12. 1st down, Thompson. Seaburn all in the air for the most part this half. It's going to check that down to their big receiver on the far sideline. It's going to be the running back out of the backfield, R.J. Evans. Another chunk of yardage. That's going to be 5 yards. 2nd and 5.
How about Paxton Ussery, the D-end, playing coverage, dropped out. His assignment was the running back. Did a good job of shadowing him and then going and making the tackle once the catch was made.
That's one thing I like about our 11 on defense. Maybe not the biggest guys in the world, but they are fast and athletic. Interchangeable almost. As you saw Ussery get back there. Little audible from the Thompson sideline. 5:12 to go in the third quarter. Seaburn drop back, good protection, throws out in the flat. Perfect route run, open receiver, out to midfield. That is Price Lewis. Good job by a route run by Uriah Casey, who sort of cleared out the defenders for Lewis to fill in behind him.
Called it perfectly. Had both receivers on the route. The deep route took the defenders and then dropped it down to Lewis.
Snap to Seaburn, inside handoff coming near side.
That is unbelievable.
First down for Thompson on the run there. That is Casey after he did a good job on the route. They reward him with a handoff, and some of the crowd wanted a holding penalty.
Yeah, Rush Harper, and I apologize for that response, but Rush Harper was running to the ball. You could see the jersey being pulled right in front of the line judge, but no penalty.
Seaburn looking downfield is going to put this one, some air under it to the end zone. Perfectly thrown ball, touchdown. Man, that was a big-time throw to Dedrick Kimbrough. You talk about picture perfect from two future Division I FBS Power 4 conference players. On the run, perfect arc, touchdown Thompson. Nothing you can do about that one but tip the old cap.
There are only a handful of quarterback-receiver combos in the state, maybe the Southeast, that could complete a pass like that. That was a beautiful ball by Seaborn, put in the perfect spot.
Yeah, that little clip, if you guys want to use that one on your highlight tape you send to SEC schools or to rivals or whatever, just clip that one off with the Rebel Sports Nation, and we'll let you have that one for free. That was perfect. Touchdown Thompson, 28-3. They lead our Rebels. We'll take a quick break right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
84 yards on 5 plays for Thompson that time. A little more difficult than the first drive, a lot more difficult than the first touchdown. But the second half has seen 3 quick touchdowns in 3 drives for Thompson. They lead at 28-3.
Yeah, just everything going right for the Warriors at this point, and the opposite for the Rebels. So now it's got to take a deep breath, pick yourself up, and you can't do anything about what's happened so far. 3 touchdowns to start this second half. Now you have to go out and try to make a play. And that starts with, we talked at the start of the game, can you sustain drives? Vestavia did that a good bit in the first half, have not done that so far in this third quarter.
Had a good look at Arundel there for a second. Once again, the kick is going to head towards the end zone, and Vestavia will get the touchback with 4:23 to go in the third quarter. Some of the Vestavia fans who made the trip down here to Alabaster are starting to head to their cars a little bit. 85 at kickoff tonight, but 78 degrees as we work our way to the fourth quarter.
It feels awesome out here. It's been a really nice night. It was a great first half of football and has not started out so well here in this second half, but another opportunity here for this Rebel offense.
Again, LeMaster's your quarterback. Major Weaver's in there back there. LeMaster short hops that one incomplete out there.
Yeah, that one just seemed like it hung onto his hand a little bit too long, threw that one straight in the ground.
Maybe getting some new numbers out there. You saw Major Weaver in that backfield. Really, I think the first action of the night for him.
Right. And that's what happens too, especially early in your career, is when you've been getting rushed and so much pressure on so many plays, you speed up faster than you probably want to or need to. Seem to do that on that incompletion.
Big shift that sends Weaver, Arundel, and Hunt out bunch near side. 5 receivers. They're going to swing it to Weaver. He makes the catch, works his way forward for a few yards, but not a ton. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Nice tackle by Colton Moore there, and 3rd down opportunity for the Rebels. So far tonight, Vestavia is only 3 of 11 on 3rd down.
This is one of them right in front of the band. LeMaster has done a masterful job tonight of managing this game and managing this offense, which you don't always get in a backup at any level. Really, you can watch NFL games on Sunday, and when they put QB2 in, it doesn't always look as smooth as it's looked tonight. so impressed with what Bryce LeMaster has done for this team tonight. He sets in the pocket, drifts up, steps up. Beautiful ball to Laws. It just gets knocked out at the last second by a good defensive play from DeMonte Tab.
That was a really good throw by Bryce LeMaster that time. Fitted in there. Laws had a chance. But as we've seen several times, the Thompson defenders get there just right at the last second. I mean, it looks like that opening's there. You're about to make that play, and then they just have such incredible closing speed in the secondary to get there and break those balls up.
Yeah, I mean, just a great defensive play. As equal as the great offensive play for the touchdown, that was a perfect last-second knock away from Tabs. Morgan's punt is low, and once again, it's going to take a good bounce, but this time it is fielded and returned by Price Lewis out to the 43-yard line, stacked up by a bunch of Vestavia Rebels, including Matthew Patillo, who is there. A little scuffle at the bottom of the pile as they fight for the ball, but no fumble. Thompson will hold on to it with 3:11 to go. Quick timeout here. This is the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Appreciate all of our great sponsors. Thompson's first down play as we come back to Alabaster. Vestavia trailing, handoff up the middle. Nice yardage on a first down run for 6. And is that RJ or KJ doing it for Thompson on that play?
And I think that play is really indicative of the difference in the first half and the second half. In the first half, Vestavia was making contact at the line of scrimmage, a yard down, and now you're going 3-4 yards before you see any contact with the white jerseys.
RJ Evans on that carry. They have depth at every position. Very good football team. Hope to see them again in the state playoff somewhere. .235 to go. Seaborn inside handoff back to RJ Evans. Going to get hit at the line of scrimmage. In there is big number 24.
And that's the type of pressure you like to see.
Rush Harper on the tackle. Good tackle by him as he stayed at home, and it's now 3rd and 5, we'll call it. Scoreboard says 4. See if the defense can get Thompson off the field. Trailing 28-3. Seaborn straight drop, 2-man rush. Here comes the third guy. It's Harper putting pressure on Seaborn. Throws to the sideline. It's going to be incomplete. Both officials look at each other, and unable to drag his foot was Trey Knight. Very close.
That was a great effort by Knight to reach out, try and catch that football. Vestavia only rushed 2 people that time, dropped 9 into coverage. Seaborn nowhere to go initially, rolls to his left, delivers a nice ball to the outside, but out of bounds. And so a nice stop there by the Vestavia defense. First stop here of this second half.
D for Vestavia, number 14.
So Thompson's going to kick it back to Vestavia. Stubbs is back, awaiting the punt. Low snap, and we got flags. Procedure penalty against Thompson is going to back him up 5 more yards. It'll be 4th and 9, and we'll do the re-kick.
Ball start against Thompson.
And now they're going to put the actual punt team out there.
And back them up. You got a chance to return this one.
So at first the defense stayed out there with 1 guy back. Now the whole punt team's off, and can they get the number 13 off the field? And they do. So mass substitution for Vestavia. Punt block was on. They did not get to the, oh, beautiful kick. Didn't get to the punter, and he's able to get the ball rolling perfectly inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. And everything's gone right for Thompson here in the second half. And Vestavia will start with their back against the wall. $1:28 to go in the third. 28-3. Thompson leads it. Vestavia's had very little offense here in the second half.
A couple other scores from the region. Hewitt-Trussville leading Hillcrest 17-0 in the third quarter. Prattville leading Hoover 23-14 at the half, but Hoover now driving.
Important games that will impact Vestavia's push for the playoffs. If the playoffs had started today, we were in. And we hope to be there when it's all said and done. Working up the middle for a little running room is Major Weaver.
And this is a tough situation for an offensive play caller. You're backed up against just some outstanding athletes on the defensive line. You want to push forward, try to get some push, go straight ahead. Didn't get much there. The alternative is you try to go to the outside, but that leaves your quarterback or your running back in the end zone trying to get to the edge against these outstanding athletes for the Warriors.
We may have seen the last of Noah Boylan. Remember, he's been dealing with a lower body injury, and I don't know if he nicked it up or if he's just trying to now save him for later on. Weaver with the run, closer to the goal line. A lot of activity in the pile there. It'll be third down as that play lost some yardage.
So your real choice here is, do you just try to run it again, see if you can't maybe break something through and give yourself room for the punter, or you just drop back and take a shot down the field.
Got to get a play off. Game clock's at 24, play clock's at 20. This will be the last play, the way Vestavia is timing this, it looks like, maybe of this third quarter. That has not gone Vestavia's way. Snap, LeMaster hands it off. Up the middle for a couple of yards, a little room for the punt, and that's going to be it for the third quarter. 21 points from Thompson in the third quarter, and they lead it 28-3. We come back for the final stanza after this quick timeout with our great sponsors on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Taylor Burton Company, we've been building and remodeling homes in Vestavia Hills since 1986. That's back when shoulder pads weren't just for football. This isn't just where we work, it's home. We live here, we raise our families here. Our kids all wore the Rebel jersey under these Friday night lights. That's why we care so deeply about what we do. Quality, craftsmanship, and community. That's what we're built on.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt a communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
Once again, so proud to be part of this broadcast this year. And I had somebody walk up and say, hey, man, I'm from Florida. When we can't make it, we watch you guys. We enjoy the broadcast. After the punt here, we'll tell you about the volleyball team, what they have coming up for Vestavia. But to start the fourth quarter, we are backed up, and Sloan Morgan's got his Hills just inside the back line. Can't be back any further for a punt. He's got to step forward, and he does, and he gets the great kickoff from his back line. This one's going to hit the 30, go forward, and now go dead. A nice little 37-yard punt. Volleyball team, man, is coming up and off to a great start for them.
Yeah, if you want to go out and watch on the 25th as well, I believe that's Wednesday night. Women's volleyball, they're playing Grissom. First serve is at 5 o'clock p.m. And again, come watch these young ladies, watch them compete. Flag football this week on the 25th. Volleyball on the 25th. Both those games start at 5 o'clock p.m. So come out, watch those teams and support them. That is on Thursday night, 5 o'clock p.m.
And we're back home next Friday night, too. So come watch us for a little football. Handoff far side. A little running room as they run over a couple of our players as Uriah Casey, who's coming in, and he's their third running back there tonight. And he's got fresh legs, and he's got 9 yards.
Haynes Bridges fired off in the backfield. Looked like he got tackled as he was coming forward, but a good gain to start this drive for Thompson.
2nd and 1, Thompson. 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. This is their first possession in the fourth. 11:20 to go in the game. They played with a lot of pace in the third quarter. Seaborn, clean pocket to the sidelines. Dangerous pass. Receiver helped him out tremendously there, coming back to the football. That is Dedrick Kimbrough, the SEC recruit, who, if he doesn't come back for that ball, there's a chance that thing's going to be picked off over there by Patillo.
Yeah, just a really good job by the receiver. That's what you see, these really good guys. It's not just the way, how big they are, how fast they are. It's the way they run the routes, coming out of the route, exploding, coming back to the football, and taking care of the quarterback.
Yeah, that's one if he doesn't take care of the quarterback. It could be even a pick six going the other direction. So great job by Kimbrough, one of those things that shows up on tape. Seaborn slings it out the other side with a wide receiver screen that's defended out there, but that's another Thompson first down. That one out there to Darian Mosley. Check that. That's Trey Knight on the screen. And another Thompson first down.
It seems like everything Thompson's trying right now is working.
That was a long throw from Seaborn. He went the near hash to the far sideline on that screen, and with a zip on it to get out there to get the first down. The running play doesn't go a lot, so it's second down.
That's Uriza Casey, sophomore, played last year at Gardendale, and now here with the Thompson Warriors.
Gardendale, huh? And now he's at Thompson. Seaborn, who has been impressive. Boy, he gets bigger every time I see him as he gets older. He's a junior, but some are wondering if he'll reclassify. More on that in a second. Perfectly thrown ball, touchdown. That is Trey Knight. Seaborn to Knight, and another touchdown for Thompson. 34-3 now.
You see Knight just go up with those hands, make that catch. That ball was, Seaborn had to get rid of it probably quicker than he wanted to, but just really well done by Knight to make that catch.
They do look like a different team here in the second half. While they kick the extra point here, I'll ask you. I'll tell you what, I'll save it for the other side of the commercial break. Should you reclassify and go off to college if you're Seaborn? That's the question on the table when we come back. The PAT is good. 35-3, Thompson leads it. This is the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Scoring drive. 36 yards on 5 plays, an 8-yard touchdown pass from Prince Seaborn to Trey.
Back with you, 35-3. Thompson's outscored Vestavia in the second half, 28-0. Question on the table. Seaborn, who's been playing since he was an 8th grader here, got 35, 40 offers out there. Would you reclassify if you were him to get your college clock started quick?
So obviously a tough call. He did hold back or repeated a grader at some point or started late, but so he's a year older. For his grade. So
we don't have NIL here in the state of Alabama.
Well, and that's one thing that he has to think about, and a lot of these athletes have to think about. So there was a report into last year that he was offered a $1.2 million, and the numbers vary, but he was offered a lucrative NIL deal. Can't take it in the state of Alabama. And so there's real money out there for him to go make, and I think that's what ultimately, whether right or wrong, the decision's going to come down. Can you afford to wait for the money, or do you need to go pursue it now? And if I were in that shoe, I was never that good, right? Never had those types of decisions to make. But if you're in that situation, is the money, getting the money now, is that the best call, or do you wait? Do you create even more opportunity? Can you get more money down the road? And then if someone like that, of that high caliber, you got to think about what's best for a potential professional career, and what does that look like, and how am I going to get developed as best I can?
Davis Copley with a return there for Vestavia as the Rebels now get things started at their own 22-yard line. Handoff up the middle, no run. Let me ask you this. We're a litigious society. How can most of the states allow high schoolers to get NIL, and anybody here say no, if Seaborn wanted NIL, he couldn't get paid? Why? How would that stand up in court?
So far it has. I mean, look, the NCAA's lost basically every court case they tried to litigate. They tried. And
they settle on a lot of them now because they don't want to go to court.
But it's all state laws. I mean, everything is governed by individual specific state laws, and that's a lot of the argument you hear from some of these coaches. Just give me a federal standard that everyone can follow. But to do that, you have to literally an act of Congress, and as we know, those aren't real easy to make happen.
Yep. Handoff there as we get some new faces in there. Quarterback is Hudson Moat, who is in now, the sophomore, getting some snaps and running the offense. Gets us to 3rd down and 10.
Coach Evans, obviously, he can see the scoreboard. He sees where this has gone, and now for Vestavia, it's all about getting through this game, making sure nobody gets hurt. You have an off week next week, so you have the opportunity for guys to get healthy, and then in 2 weeks it's Prattville, and that game becomes the biggest game of the season. It's going to have a huge implications on playoff opportunities for both of those teams.
3rd down with our QB3 in Hudson Moat. Running the offense here for this drive, sends a man in motion. Snap gets through his hand, picks it up on the bounce. Now does a great job of passing it out to Major Weaver. picks up some positive yardage. Thought Moat did a great job there, even though he lost the snap, to keep his cool and get it forward to Weaver.
Really nifty recovery, not only to catch the ball, the bounce off the ground, but then to have the presence of mind to get rid of it, get it to Weaver. Not much of a gain. It may have actually lost some yards, but didn't have the fumble and didn't lose the football.
8:10 to go in the game, 35-3. So you're telling me this is a state law in Alabama on the NIL, not an AHSAA rule?
It may be that as well, but it's all it's a compilation of state law, state rules.
Okay, good punt coming in. Our second punter to see tonight, and that was a booming kick. 38 Gray Pryor on the kick.
Just
right?
a really, really good kick.
Yeah,
nice job. This is a good punts, good bounces on this turf.
Is that a left-footed kick? Yeah, seemed like it was. Or maybe I looked at it backwards. I don't know.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is. Man, I can't believe this was 7-3 at the half, and now it's 35-3. I mean, it could not have gone better in the first half.
And it makes you wonder. Clearly, Thompson made some adjustments, but what clicked? What was the difference for Vestavia to play so well in the first half, and then for Thompson just to look so much better in the second half? It's kind of that psychology. Obviously, athletic ability comes into that as well, but there's just a lot that goes into how does that happen? Do you see such a significant change from just such a short period of time? You go rest for 15 minutes and you come out and it's just a completely different ballgame.
Zeeland Danielson is now in at quarterback for Thompson. I mean, Seaborn hasn't played a lot of fourth quarters this year. Danielson is in there now. He's more of a running quarterback than Seaborn is. At least he has been when he's been in the games this year.
But here's my favorite stat of the night. Zeeland Danielson, the sophomore backup quarterback, already has offers from UNLV, Arizona State, and UAB.
He's a sophomore, right?
And he's the backup.
Yeah. UNLV, by the way, that's Dan Mullen's school. So that means he's a dual threat quarterback, and Zeeland Danielson, the 6'2 guy, keeps that one and runs it near the marker. Boy, bounced for the first down. They're going to give that to him.
That was a silly spot.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he was short of the.
Yeah. They're looking at the.
He was short of the 44, and they're going to mark it at the 45. Goodness gracious.
No.
The referee's going to come in and, oh my goodness. Hey, these guys are having plenty of success on their own. That was an extra yard from where he went down to where that ball was spotted.
Yeah, he got the bounce. 7 minutes to go, clock running. 1st and 10 for Thompson.
And now for Vestavia, it's about competing. If you're out there on the field, you got an opportunity to play in a big game, compete like crazy, go make a play and show up on this film.
Yeah, a little motion from Thompson on the defensive shift there.
False start against Thompson. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
When you're in a backup role, you never know when's that opportunity that I'm going to make a play, whether it's in practice or during a JV game or in a game like this where you get on the field. And are you going to flash to the coach? Say, I got to get that guy some more opportunities.
Look at the game Daniel Richardson has had tonight. Look at the contributions Braxton Hunt has made lately. Look at the game LeMaster's had tonight. All those guys, when their number's been called, they've stepped up. Wonderful quarterback keeper, faked everybody out, but we got a flag down. I think the referee may have been faked like we were, and he said, man, this is too confusing. Something had to be illegal. You got a procedure penalty. Oh, holding. Okay.
Yeah, that was in the area holding. They're going to call it.
6:18 to go, 35-3. Thompson leads Vestavia. So did you tell me we're off next week? Is it a bye week?
Bye week next week.
Oh,
and that's one thing. There was a time, the first 2 years under Coach Robert Evans, that the Vestavia played 10 straight weeks.
Right.
And just brutal schedule. You're playing 10 straight weeks, and then you had a week off before the playoffs, but it was just a really, really tough go, and you just get worn out. So now they've changed the schedule to where you go 5, take a week off, and then play 5 more. And that's kind of the schedule, especially when you think about this schedule and kind of how it's gone. That's a really nice play in the backfield for Vestavia.
Yeah, that looks to be a number. I had number 80 there.
I think that was 90, Matthew Hillsmeyer.
90, okay, Matthew Hillsmeyer.
Really good job of flying into the backfield to make that tackle.
It was. Man, look how big Hillsmeyer is. Good job by him. Stands a head above everybody else in the field right now on either sidelines. Good athletic move by him off that defensive end. They hand it off right up the middle. Tackle in there by, that's 41, Preston Dill, the sophomore with the tackle. Good job by Preston. 3rd down and long for Thompson. 5 minutes, 20-second clock running.
Not to correct you, I think it was Ryder Faust on that tackle.
All right. I trust you. Faust on the tackle. I'm not going to argue with you. You got better eyes than I do. I called the last one 80, and it was 90. I only missed it by 10. Play clock down to 13, 12, 11. Thompson 2 now trying to shorten the game a little bit with their backups in. Danielson hands it off near side. Staying in bounds is their runner. That's 27, Jafari Pagis, with a familiar last name. Short of the first down. It'll be 4th down. 4:30. They'll get close to the 4-minute mark before they kick it. People wonder if you and I get along on this broadcast when you correct me like that. I have no problem with it. I want to get it right.
We get along very well. It has been a pleasure to have you a part of this this broadcast. We're halfway through, though. Yeah. That's the crazy part. Already halfway through.
That is crazy. I was going to show up at the stadium next week until you told me. I didn't know it was bye next week. That means I got to have a Friday night date with the wife. Actually, I'll be in Athens, Georgia.
Oh, tough place. Just looking back at kind of the last few games against Thompson, going back to when Coach Evans showed up in 2022, had a 34-14 loss in the regular season in 2022. And then what I thought was probably the best game Vestavia's played against Thompson was in the playoffs, where Vestavia lost 21-12.
Oh, great run. Major Weaver here. Hit the hole, 1st down. That one's out to the 44. We don't get the bounce to the 45. They put him down at the 44.
Just a really nice straight-ahead run by Major Weaver, finding the opening. Doing a good job getting north and south for that 1st down. That takes Weaver to 6 carries for 14 yards. But the game in 2022, Vestavia down 14-12. Have a chance to get the ball back in the plus side of the field and fumble to punt. And lost the ball, and then Thompson goes down to score. But a chance where you only need a field goal, about 2 or 3 minutes left.
Short field,
had a chance to go win that ball game and didn't do it. And since then,
and that was in the playoffs.
That was in the playoffs, second round of the playoffs.
And I assume Thompson went on to win the state championship.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right up the middle again.
So had 2 years in a row where Vestavia played Thompson in the second round of the playoffs. Lost 34-14 the following year. Last year, the loss at home, Vestavia was at home, lost 38-17, and then here tonight it's going to end up, well, we'll see what the final score ends up being, but a really good first half, and just that's what you've seen a theme against these Thompson-Vestavia games is Vestavia come out and have a really good first half, and then it's just, can you sustain that? And I think tonight, obviously they didn't, but you got to think back to, again, you're playing without a number of starters, your leading tackler, your starting quarterback, and a lot of guys stepped up and played really well. But what you hope is you have that week off, and then 2 weeks from now, when Prattville comes to town, you're at full speed, or at least closer to it than you were tonight.
Really love left guard Luke Laracy in there mixing it up, a little extracurricular, and he was still in there fighting. Won the block against his guy that time, as Vestavia got some positive yardage right behind Laracy.
Nice job of pushing forward again. Weaver doing a great job running the football, picking up some yardage.
I mean, 74's got a little moxie about him on that offensive line out there. 11th grader getting some playing time. Weaver looking good out there. .150 to go, 3rd down. 15 on the play clock coming up. Late substitution as Fox Neely comes out of the game. Handoff is to Weaver again. He gets it to the 50. It'll be 4th down. Good job by Hudson Moat reading the defense and handing it off to Weaver instead of keeping it. He's going to set up a 4th and a manageable 4.
Baker Huntley in the game at wide receiver.
I see 30
Cole Holly. Yeah, Cole Holly as well at receiver.
Powell Curry's out there, tight end. I see him out on the field. Punt team's going to come out now. Got the kicking ball out there, and Gray Pryor will try to pin him deep. 3 on the play clock, 2-1. They get it off. And the punt, another beautiful kick. This one's going to go inside the 10, take a great bounce just inside, and boy, I tell you what, Gray Pryor has looked good punting the football.
Great kick there, and can confirm that he's a lefty.
He is a lefty now. I thought he looked that way in hindsight. All right, so that one bounces in, and some of the 2s on the depth chart looking pretty good as they come in for Thompson here. We'll get one play from Thompson and call it a night here. 35-3, they lead it. Bye week, and then who?
Prattville coming to town in what is going to be a huge game for playoff implications, and every single game is from now on. Vestavia is going to fall to 3-2, 1-2 in region play, but it makes every game important going forward.
Chances are good Hillcrest also is going to fall to 1-2 as they take a knee and the clock will run out. Coming into the night, Hewitt, Thompson, and Prattville were unbeaten. Vestavia and Hillcrest were the other 2 1-1 teams. Of course, we have the tiebreaker with Hillcrest.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot going on. With that Hillcrest beating Hoover, Hoover's now gone up on Prattville. You go into all these scenarios, and we'll talk about those as they get further down the road, but a lot of it comes down to who are your non-region opponents, who did they beat, how many games did those teams win, and so it's a lot that goes into it. But the bottom line is, last year at this time, Vestavia was also 1-2 in the region, but they were 1-4 overall. This year, they're 3-2, and I think by any measure, Coach Evans would say we've played much better this year than we did last year. We're in a much better spot, and now you have an opportunity to regroup, get rested, get healed up, and come back in 2 weeks against the Prattville Lions.
Our post-game show is coming up. 35-3, Thompson beats Vestavia. Let's take one more timeout right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Baptist Health is on your team. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Baptist Health, on your team, on and off the field.
Back with you now as 35-3, you see the final score as we move into our post game. And if you're just tuning in or you missed the first half, everything went exactly the way it needed to go for Vestavia in the first half. 7-3, in fact, probably left points on the field in the first half, and you felt pretty good about it until halftime. And then the first drive, boom, 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 touchdown. Nothing for Vestavia. Then another quick touchdown and another quick touchdown. They put 21 up in the third quarter, and the game was over at that point.
And I'm not remembering the numbers exactly right, but at halftime it was something to the effect of Thompson had 160, 170 yards of total offense. Vestavia had 105, kind of in the 110 range.
One of those plays was a 70-yarder from Thompson that sort of put it out of whack.
And now you look at the total yards to end the ball game. Thompson 405, Vestavia 140. So Thompson went up and put up well over 200. In this second half, Vestavia only put up about 35 or 40. And so just a total flip of the game. And look, at some point, and I think this is what Coach Evans is saying right here, you just tip your hat. I mean, Thompson was just better in the second half and played well. But look, what you hope is you play really well, you get guys back, you start going in that second half of the season, and you get these guys have another opportunity in the playoffs. Looking just at some other stats, Bryce LeMaster finishes the night 13 of 26, 76 yards and a touchdown.
And see, I don't think that stat line is totally fair. Like if I'm giving a game ball tonight, offensively it would go to Bryce LeMaster because he is QB2, and you come down here without Charlie Taff to play the #1 team, and you were thinking, okay, you don't have your starting quarterback, this whole thing's going to look discombobulated, and it never looked that way.
He looked poised, especially coming out the gate. The way he sat back in the pocket, taking a lot of pressure. He stood in there, he delivered passes, he ran the offense. Noah Boylan, 10 carries, 25 yards. Major Weaver had 9 for 20, and Bryce LeMaster also ran 9 times for 17 yards. Luke Stubbs, 5 catches for 41 yards. Braxton Hunt, 3 for 5 yards, and Carson Purdy, 2 for 15. Just not able to, we talked about in the pregame, can you sustain drives? Can you keep putting things together? And Vestavia just never able to do that. Gray Manown had 6 tackles. Daniel Richardson had 5, but that doesn't really tell the story of his night because he was phenomenal in that first half.
If I was going to give a defensive game ball, it would go to Daniel Richardson tonight.
And to kind of look at the stats just for Thompson, Trent Seaborn, the 4-star recruit, 18 of 25, 297 yards and 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. R.J. Evans, 10 carries for 58 yards, and Dedrick Kimbrough, 4 carries for 80 yards. Darlin Mosley, 3 catches for 101.
So Thompson's now beaten Vestavia in 12 straight games. You say some of these have been really close. It was close tonight for a half. Listen, I know what the final score is, but if you see them again, you're going to see them again in the state playoffs, and that would be a good thing. And I'd like to see this team again with a healthy Charlie Taff and see what happens.
I think it's a team, especially what you have to do now is mentally from this team's standpoint is you say, hey, let's find out what we did in the first half. Let's think about it. Let's learn from this. Let's learn from the second half and not do that again. But let's show the grit and the toughness that we showed in that first half. Let's bottle that up, and let's take that forward against every game we play. And then hopefully you have another opportunity in the playoffs to get this team or some other ones, because there's a number of really good football teams. But look, these guys are number 1 for a reason, and they looked really impressive tonight.
All right, so bye week and then Prattville at home.
That's right, and for Vestavia folks, Tuesday's an election. Everybody go out and vote. It's important for city council runoff election.
All right, little public service announcement there from Chad Pilcher. To remember to go vote on Tuesday. It doesn't seem like it's voting season, but we're voting in September. That's on correct. A Tuesday. It's a runoff. Those always sneak up on you, so go get a vote in. And thanks to all the students and all the other folks who put on a road show tonight. Spotless, I thought it was fantastic. And that's 2. We've only got 1 more road show before we hit the playoffs. And that's at Tuscaloosa County coming up in a few weeks.
And thanks to John Forsiglio for making this happen. This is a pretty cool setup that got here really, really early today to get all this ready. We've got equipment galore. We're up here on the platform, folks going around, and we had several people just run through and
for
full
a while.
speed for a while. We got the barriers set up, but
then Miss Gillette jumped on them.
She got them.
Very teacher, don't run in the hallways mode there, and then no more running through at that point. Well, thanks for being with us tonight. Didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, but a good effort from the Vestavia Rebels. 35-3, Thompson wins it. We'll see you back home for Prattville in 2 weeks. Until then, everybody, God bless you and God bless America.
This is Coach Robert Evans with Vestavia Hills High School. Thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. We hope you tune in next week.